Well, folks, without further ado, I'm Upstate Al of AZB TV, and we want to welcome you to the 4th annual Steinway Classic. You can see Mr. Phil Burford won it in 2012, along with Shane Van Boning in 2013. Warren Campco in 2014. The biggest field ever with the most talent is 2015. We got two players up strong. Chang Yu Lung and Ping Chung in the finals, traveling together, coming to Steinway Billiards, are going to match up right now in the finals. Before we get started, we'd like to thank MolinariGlove.com. Make sure to get over there. I'm telling you, it's the best. I'm not raving about it because I don't know. I'm raving about it because I see the cases being delivered to numerous pool halls, and I see the products in the showcases. MolinariGlove.com. Aramis, the best balls you can use on any felt. And the felt is Simonis cloth. Every table in here has just been reclothed before the tournament with Simonis. JoeTucker.net. You mention the promo code Upstate Al, all one word, and you're going to get started for like $8. It's all the secrets about the rack. The professional players have studied the rack and got taught what to look for by Joe Tucker. Sorry, I had to mute myself. I have a sore throat coming on. Anyway, it's JoeTucker.net. Thank you, Joe. And don't forget, right here in the same location, New York City 8-Ball Championship coming up. I'll be here on Friday and make sure the setup's all running right. That's the NYC 8-Ball Championships coming up. This weekend, it's a free live stream. And then AZB TV, that's me. I'll be moving into Providence, Rhode Island to bring you the Ocean State 9-Ball Tournament, combined with the Josh Northeast 9-Ball Tour. That's November 21st through the 22nd, and that will be a free live stream. $5,000 added. If you're going to go up there, you plan on sweating the action, make sure to check in the Holiday Express Hotel, located in Warwick, Rhode Island on Jefferson Boulevard. They are the host hotel, and we'll be giving special rates out to people that are going there. Make sure you mention Snookers. There they are, the Predator Qs and Tony and the Predator Pro-Am Tour. We call it NAPL. It's playnapl.com. Make sure to check out all these sponsors. These sponsors are the ones that make all this happen. Ozone Billiard Supply, the DeVito team, Delta13.com, PoolOnTheNet.com, Mr. Phil Capel, and we'll mention a little bit more about Phil Capel. PoolMag.com, Gotham City Technologies, Mr. Ron Mason's company. Pool.biz, AZ Billiards, the world's largest pool and billiards website. We are bringing it to you as fast as we can. We know you guys are urging to see the finals, and so is Joel Shapiro as he looks on. Mr. Joel Shapiro would like to thank you personally. You were here yesterday, and I did. And there they are, the Kings of Vapors and the Kings of Billiards in Akron, Ohio, along with the Tap League. And, of course, live stream news group on Facebook. If you have Facebook accessibility, go over to Facebook and search out the live stream news group, and that's the logo you'll see at the top of the page. Suggest to be a member. We have numerous moderators in place. Just it's a matter of waiting. It's all about live streaming. We want to thank Jimmy. Too slow for me. My man's been working throughout this tournament, and hopefully, Jimmy, you're feeling good, and everything's getting better. And here's Mr. Phil Capel, as you can purchase Mr. Phil Capel's books right online with every aspect of the game, all the secrets. His books are available at billiardspress.com. Wild Eyes Creations, they're on board now. And they make these beautiful cue and chalk holders. The Wild shirts, you name it, they got it. Check them out, wildeyeScreations.com. In fact, they do sponsor a play, and we happen to know him. We have him in the booth several times. Michael Babstubner on the left-hand side, a.k.a. Mikey Fingers. And there's the booth. They're always at Super Billiards Expo. We want to say thank you to Wild Eyes Creations. We hope we're doing justice. Thank you for coming on board. Diana Hoppy, who's on board every time we get up on the road. the princess of pool. She has all the memorabilia for pool and billiards. She even has Earl Strickland's wisdom teeth signed by Earl Strickland. You name it, she's got it. Thank you, DianaHoppy.com. And she's got her personal email on her website and her phone number. If you want to make a deal, get in touch with her. She's workable. Thanks, Diana. This guy here, Molinari, I mentioned him again, but they deserve to be mentioned twice. Mr. Ira Lee and family coming with it once again and getting on board. Thank you, Ira. That's MolinariGlove.com. And there's the PlayNAPL.com right there in front of you, where you can get in touch with Tony and find out how you can go about playing on the leagues. He's got 22 to 24 to 25 leagues playing every night. That's PlayNAPL.com. And I started this group, and I didn't want to call it a fan page, so I elected to call it Upstate Island Friends. It's a lot of things we do while we're on the road, and it's on Facebook. All you got to do is hit a like button, and when we post something, you get one of those little red bubbles. It's a way to keep in touch with everybody. We're migrating from my personal friends page, migrating everybody over that way, because there are a lot of people that have been waiting for quite a long time to become friends with me on the Facebook, and I just can't accept everybody. So with this group here, you guys can keep in touch with us, and we can keep in touch with you. We don't want to stone cold anybody out of it. It's Upstate Island Friends on Facebook. We're going to let these guys go because these guys are ready to rock and roll. And they got the signal from Troy. You know, New Jersey pool player was going to leave, and he got the itch to say, wait a minute, let me stay and finish what I started. So welcome aboard and back in the box. Troy, thank you.
Hey, what's up, Upstate? Ready to rock and roll here.
Ready to get down. Now you're going to see the scoreboard pop up momentarily as the guys in the truck set it up. And there it is right there. And you can see it's a race to 13 or 15. Ping Chung coming from the B side of the chart.
And winning the lag.
If he gets to 13, it extends to 15. If Chang Yu Lung gets to 13, it's over, and he is the new champion, and he will be on the new banner the next time we come here, along with those three players.
Taking the country by storm, rolled in and takes out the U.S. Open.
Well, we were told that Tony Robles was going to grab somebody else to come in a booth. We have Diana Snooki Rojas sitting right beside us, and we're going to throw her in the box because I know she's itching to get in. She wants to finish what she started. She was here from day one, and I feel like I'm neglecting her by not putting her in the booth because she's always there for us and always calling it the way it is. Here we go with the opening break.
Here we go. Looks like you come up dry. And not leaving a shot. So we'll see a little push out here. And the start of the match.
And we want to welcome Diana Snooki Rojas to the booth. Welcome back, sweetie pie.
Hey, how are you? Thank you.
Okay, and there's Troy in the back. And Steinway is buzzing. There's, I would say 25.
Oh. So
Oops. Al got
an earful.
An earful there from Al. Check out this Asian invasion, Troy. How you like it?
Yeah. Well, they played well.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Jason in the finals, but, or, you know, a few other of our hometown favorites.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? I was kind of looking forward to see if Warren could do a double bubble here.
Right, right. Absolutely.
That would have been nice.
Well, and he showed up strong. I think he come in like fifth, sixth, maybe?
Something like that.
So, we'll see.
Now, I totally missed the last match with Jason. I kept hearing the roar of the crowd and things going on. But like this, we have a league night going on here. Actually, one of Tony Robles' league, the Napa League.
Right.
Team 9 ball. And my team was here and we had to play a match, and I said, "Listen, I'm gonna get back into the booth. So
let's
send
hurry
me
up.
out."
Can we hurry up and win this? So
Well,
I can get back into the booth?
I played my match. I had to play my match. So that's why I had to. When I took off before, I said, I gotta hit a couple of balls. I'm
Oh, okay.
watching
Right.
watching a lot of pool, but I haven't hit any balls this week. So I said, let me at least practice for a good 20 minutes before
Real nice shot there.
before I had my match. But I'm back. I know Tony was supposed to step in for now, but I told Al, I said, if you need me to come in, I'll come in. If not, I still, my team is actually playing behind us on 2 tables over there, so they know I'm in support of them too.
From a distance.
From a distance. Anyway, back to this.
There you go. Nice touch.
I'm really impressed with how these guys move the ball around. I
Well,
mean, any caliber, but any of these guys,
Yeah.
but
I just noticed something before in the styles. The style of Chang Yu Lung is a little more open and similar to the Filipino style than the 2 brothers, the co-brothers.
right.
And he does move the ball around a little more than they do.
It's impressive either way. We don't
Oh.
get to see these guys all the time.
Yeah, they both,
In person, that is.
they both play really
yeah.
strong.
They've had some week, haven't they?
Yeah, honestly, I've never seen these 2 play either live. I've only seen them on TV, and that's still because I can't.
And we're still looking at them on
still
TV.
looking at the TV.
The crowd is there's so many people here. We can't actually see the table, so we are watching them on TV anyway.
Yeah, Estelle, can I phone this in? And with the making of the 10 ball, we're going to put Chang Yu Lung up 1.
And he's going to do everything in his power to get to 13 before Ping Chung.
Yeah, this is a modified race, 13 or 15.
Well, I mentioned earlier, I believe it might have been yesterday, that I'm a big fan of double elimination.
Right.
True double elimination?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I
But
am too.
I think at this point it makes sense. You'll really know the winner by this extended race, and they're flying back on the same plane up.
That'll be something.
Such a, he wants to just plant the rock right in the middle of the table.
2 ball goes.
Yeah, and so does
5
the
ball.
5.
Shot on the 1. Look at that.
And the 10's all the way up table. It must have got kicked around a little bit.
We had the opportunity, all of us, to meet these players from the other side of the world, and between their interpreter and just their demeanor and their respect for others as a human being in the game is really something to witness if you can make it live and come to meet them at one tournament or another. It's really an honor to finally get to meet these players. We have plenty of photos we'll be posting up, along with many other photographers that are on scene. So keep an eye on Facebook and Twitter. We'll be hitting them up.
The room is buzzing.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not only buzzing because we got the finals. The majority of the people are on this side of the room all watching the finals by the hundreds. In the back of the room, there's about 50 to 60 guys trying to work up a big game. I don't want to tell you what's going on in there or why we got this going, but I'll try to keep you up to date. There's a lot of action.
And I'm sure there'll be plenty throughout the night.
Yes, this place will be action all night long.
And every caliber is involved. Even the league that I was just saying, when I stepped away, I told Troy that I stepped away because I had to play a match.
Right.
But And everyone, even coming near the booth, just if they can't see because everyone's standing or, just, they're in 4, 5, 6 deep. They come on near the booth and kind of watch from there if they can't see. I mean, everyone's trying to just get a peek at these guys. Ooh. He's not happy with that, and I think he may have hooked himself. Yes, he did.
Yeah, we're probably going to see him pull out his jump cue. It's an easy kick around the 8, but
he could call the 10.
Yeah, he can jump it and call the 10. You're right. That's what I think we might see him do.
He can't see part of the 7?
Not at all.
Oh, there we go. That's the deal. Thanks. He may play safe.
Jumping it with a full cue.
I didn't see him call anything, actually.
Hit a quarter of the ball. Bring the cue ball back down here. Yeah, he didn't call anything. Maybe he just...
Unless he said something to
his competitor.
Seems like he did go for the 10. I would imagine he did. Nevertheless,
he won't be shooting again, that's for sure.
Ping Chung is up. And the last time he was let out of his gate, it was like a run of a 5-pack.
I'm not sure how old. Someone mentioned how old he was before. And
I think he's 19, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he might be between 19 and 21. But with this field, you're going to say, oh, who won the 4th Steinway Classic? Oh, some 20-year-old.
Spanky Caba's in the house, raising up some kind of bid back there to get in the match.
Yeah, I had a peep. I heard a peep of that over there, and they were discussing. They're trying to figure out what table.
All right. With that, Ping Chung isn't worried about the match back there.
Right.
And he says, knot this up at 1.
You're very, very true statement there, Troy. There is nothing. I mean, if a bowling ball was to fall through the roof in the middle of the table, I think any of these two players playing right here would still be down shooting a 10 ball without budging. I mean, these guys are made of steel.
And they worked really hard to get where they're at right now.
Sure did.
A stellar field of 120 to 25 players.
Incredible. 3/4 of the U.S. Open, if not more, showed up here at Steinway, and we're going to do it again next year.
I'm going to say household names.
Put it on the calendar, folks.
And they were household names in the pool world. And they were all here. And one by one, they faded. And these two gentlemen is what is left. And they're going to battle it out. Ping Chung's last match, I think it was the last match, the one before that. He strung together. Oh, it was against Jason. Jason had him, came out and had 3 or 4 games in a row. Had him in a seat. He ran a 5-pack, and he was on his way to 6. And I think he had like 2 or 3 balls left on the table, and he got him. He just got a little bad on the ball, I believe.
Jesus, I know. I couldn't see back there,
You could see Jason not moving from his chair, though, probably.
No, I can't. I couldn't see anything. I was listening to the crowd, and they're very appreciative. Obviously, They know what's going on here. But I was trying to get a peep over, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah, watch the break here. I'm going to park the cue ball and look for those 2 balls to go in and the wing balls to go around. There goes the 5, and he lost the cue ball.
Well, yeah, he's rethinking the way he broke that, but it happens. It happens. We have a nice open table now, don't we?
Oh.
No,
Chang Yu Lung is saying, what's this wee stuff? I'm running out. It's not a team sport.
Yeah, he'll want to get somewhere in the middle of the table and keep himself an angle for the 2 and pop it back up towards top rail there. So he'll see him come towards the middle with an angle.
You just watch the 9. He don't want to get too close to that. There we go. Once you see the bottom left of that cue ball, so you can bring it back up there.
Yeah.
You don't want to
Keep it away from the 6.
Yep. Right there, perfect.
That's nice.
Make sure he gets far enough down here on it for the 7, so not to interfere with the 8 ball.
Yeah, he wants to keep getting
That's all.
angle and swing around.
Yep. He's going to stretch it out here a little bit. Let's see if he can reach it.
Yeah, he's got to go a little deeper over towards the other corner. Swing, swing. Beautiful.
It's a little angle.
How nice is it for these guys, you know, to come to New York and snap off the Steinway Classic 1 and 2, and then, you know, that's a nice plane ride home.
Absolutely.
You know.
It's a nice trip to the bank. How about that?
And the U.S.
That
Open.
too. Yeah, and the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin snapped it off, and they were all traveling together.
We're going to have to do something about that, by the way.
Yeah. How about
Yeah,
we
we're
go?
gonna have-
How about we go over there?
We're going to have to invite more players from over there so that we can get more seasoned, right? These guys are real steady. There you have it, Chang Yu Lung.
I was more adventurous. I said, let's go over there.
I like that.
Road trip. It's a far
What's
road
that
trip.
noise?
What's,
Oh, that's the blender?
Take a page out of their book and see what they're doing to cultivate these this class of players.
I'll tell you what they're doing. They're doing this every day.
Not only are they playing pool every day, I think they're studiers of pool. They're reading. They also have a internet-based learning system where they read about it. So it's like a 2 or 3-fold operation. And here we go.
Going into rack number 4, Chang Yu Lung leading here 2-1. He just has to get to 13.
Parks a rock.
Crushed it. That might have been a little bit too much. 3, 6,
Nope.
9, no, nothing on the break.
Dry. Shot on the 1. Open shot on the 1 at that.
Maybe they took Mr. Tucker's book of break shots and they converted it and they learned all the rack secrets. And they got some of the other books and they learned the secrets and they're just applying them. And here we go. He's got a pretty nice open table here, Snuff. What do you think? See any problems?
Well, no, but check out that 310.
No.
I don't think he's gonna play it. I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
saying.
Just saying, it's there.
Just saying it's there. I know he's not gonna play it. He's got the 2 on the opposite side there.
Just let me interrupt you real quick. You got John Del Mazen's going to play Ruben Batista. You got Spanky Caba's going to play Warren Kienko. All in the back over here. It's all action matches. If this should end quickly, I'm going to switch over a couple of cameras this way here as a bonus. This place is going crazy. Come on down.
I love it. I love it.
What
Yeah,
a
if
shot.
Anybody's in the area or you're about to get out of work and
Well, we got a little
something, come
straight.
on down. Believe me, it's going to be worth it.
He got a little straight.
Yeah.
You might have to see a little something on this cue ball here.
What do you like? Do you like going forward? There's no reward
There's
for
no
the
reward for
5'9".
coming forward.
So he's going to have to power draw it
Snap
back.
Yeah. And that pocket,
Or play, you know
although
what?
Play
He-
it safe.
Yeah, play safe. Right, exactly, Snookster. Good call.
he's not playing, so he just pointed right right by the
He wants
the
to play
spot.
the 5 in the side pocket. Watch the shot here. Cue ball right on the spot to his left-hand
He
side.
might be following it too, Al.
He can still get there.
How'd he hit it?
If he hits the 6, I think he's going to be okay as long as he doesn't get behind it.
He lost the cue ball a little bit on it. I don't think he wanted to. He wanted to come out a little more of an angle, but he did really well there. He hit that nice.
Oh, he's got the shot.
Yeah, I know. Because that pocket, although with pocket speed it accepts a lot, it spit out a few balls today also. He rushed that a little bit. He has a tendency to do that.
Well, it was a makeable shot. He took it for granted. Maybe
Yeah.
he was thinking about the 6-10 after that.
I think so, yep. Only thing we can, as older guys, we can hope for is that the older guy wins.
Well, that goes to show you, where you said he had a nice open rack, there's no problems. There was a problem.
Well, well, he got
It's
bad
not-
on
you
the ball. There was
I
no
mean,
problems.
It's easy sometimes to say with these caliber players, they're gonna run out, or
No, there was
things happen.
there was no problems on the table.
Right.
It's
And obstacles and things like that.
there's no problems like clusters or anything. The only problems is what problems you make of them. And he got straight on the ball and he made a little problem.
It's a nice save.
I think he left him a little
He might
peek.
have, yeah, he did.
I want to say thank you to Kamui, John Bertone, and the whole family and crew. Right in the center part of your monitor at the top of the screen there. Kamui tips. Kamui chalk.
He didn't
many
go to
other
the air.
bars.
Is he banking it, playing safe? What do we got here?
Just
He's playing safe.
Yeah.
Watch the pocket.
nice.
Got him. Nice shot. He's amping up for the go into the air. And he called it. Hit that a little hard, but it was a jump shot. I expected him to hit that a little better, I think, because he had a little distance between the cue and the 5 where he was able to land the cue ball, give it a chance to settle in.
You wanted to cut a jumper makeable.
He kind of got away with it a little bit, it looks like. The way he's looking at the shot. He's going to
He's
play
got
safe.
about half a ball, so he's got to play it safe. He's trying to see where he needs to bank the 5 to get out somewhere.
Gonna roll up behind the 9.
He was trying to use the 7 as a blocker there, I think. By holding the cue ball in position, but the cue ball trickled down.
This isn't bad.
No, he left a lot of distance here. And the ball's on the rail too, so it's hard to. It's not like you can easily take a swipe at it and put it behind another ball. Are you coming on the left side, play it safe of the 8 ball?
He could bank it back down here behind the
I see it.
6-10.
And almost leave it behind the 8.
Right.
Yeah, that's a nice shot. It went the other way.
Yeah.
Not a good one, though.
Well, I think he left him the shot.
Oh, yeah.
He's got eyes on it for sure. Yeah, he's got the shot.
Yep. No hanger because
No, not at all.
you're heading to that short rail up there.
And then he's back to the 610 where he wanted to be in the beginning.
Well, I think he's going to.
But they moved it, I guess. I
Yeah.
haven't been paying attention.
I think he's going to hit it with a little pace and try and come down by the 9 and play the 6 in the side.
I mean, if he can get 2 rails out, he can come around for the correct side of the 6. If he can swing it.
Oh, okay, yeah. That'd be asking a lot there. Woo!
Oof.
And that's where he came down by the.
That's very costly right there with this gentleman coming into the table here. The only one that went through the entire field in his bracket undefeated. Chang Yu Lung.
How about you and I go offer him the 7 after this?
You can do that with your pocket.
Hey, listen. I can offer him the 5 and out. Doesn't mean I gotta win, right?
Well, you got to
offer
play.
him.
You can offer it to him.
Well,
Hey, you want the 5 and out? Sure. No, thanks. I bet you do. Hey, he wound up coming down and hitting the 6 ball. That just goes to show you when those balls are in the pocket, it's
safety. I like putting it on the exact same spot
9 ball.
up top. Even if he doesn't see he's got blockers with 7-8 all the way up there. Cross it over and send it right back up on the same spot. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
He hit that bad.
He's smiling.
He hit that really hard, too. Like, it looks like he wanted to do the safe that I was talking about, but
Yeah, let's see. I want to see one of these guys start getting into gear here. This better not be like a friendly match.
you know, they probably, you know, real, you know, friends back home, and
Yep.
you know what I mean?
I'd like to see Ping Chung string together another 4 or 5 racks right now. Once he get into gear a little bit, he settles in. He plays real methodical and
It's called the side. It's got a steep cut, but I think it's pretty good. Can't
watch the 9
afford
ball.
to get underneath the 9
Or hit the 9 in the face and can scratch. Wow, how did he hit that?
beautifully.
He hit. He used high
Got out of line here though.
ball to so he can get past it.
He's smiling like, really?
But you don't have a pocket, right?
I can't tell if he's got that bottom right.
I mean, he has a side. He has a bank, but nothing really nice. You can call a bank.
Looks like he's playing the bottom left. I think that's only a half pocket though.
What's he looking around? He's trying to.
Grab an answer out of thin air.
Yeah. Should I send it into his earpiece? Bank it.
It's easier said than done.
Long rail bank, right back where you're at.
Right where the chalk is. How about the safe that way?
He needs to take a walk around the table and figure out what he wants to do with it.
Oh,
It might go.
it might. I think he just took a good look at it.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
no, he
look at
played
that.
safe.
Right back to the chalk.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, it didn't quite get there.
Should have banked it.
This is this is cut makeable. I think he's gonna fire at this one. Yeah.
Yeah,
for
he
sure.
he definitely fires.
It's a little more aggressive.
Yeah, absolutely. He's, like I said earlier, his style lends more towards the Filipino. His shot
Splits the pocket, comes
goes
around.
around. Just watch the 10. Beautiful.
What a shot.
And a shout, the crowd erupts into cheer. couple of people clapped. Very nice. That was a good shot.
He's kind of a string, doesn't he?
Yeah, he plays really well.
Nice.
He plays so well, he might be able to win this thing. With that, he's going to get an extra point, and Chang Yu Lung is up 3-1.
Not for nothing. I think throughout the weekend here, well, the last couple of days, we've been getting pretty good at pronunciation of these names. You know that?
You totally read my mind. I thought about the same thing.
I mean, it's nice.
I tripped on my tongue. Sorry.
It's nice to know.
I was seriously thinking about the same thing.
Right, and not only do we know, we're getting the right pronunciation from the translator. So, kind of makes you feel confident.
Al, I'm not only trying for you, but I'm trying for the people that have to listen to me talk.
Well, sometimes they just mute it. They mute it. They just
I
watch.
understand. And believe me, people, I am trying my best.
Yes, you are.
It's not easy.
So is
You
this
get
next
an E for effort.
And
Oh, no,
Herb.
I can pronounce
And
these
here we
names.
go.
I want to say hello to Herb and Janet and everybody back in Connecticut. Just saying hello, guys.
Hello, guys. Watch the 6 and the 7. He's really hitting them hard, and it's not producing
working.
anything. I might have to send it into his ear to take about 15% off of that break.
15%, huh?
15 to 17.
The 2-ball called in the corner pocket. If you can see Ping Chung pointing.
This looks like a drill.
What drill you do looks like this?
Ball's on a rail.
This looks like rotation is what it looks like.
Got the, what do I see here? 1, 2. 6 to the 7. Just got to get from the 5 to the 6 to the 7. This is a little bit of a issue. I mean, he still has to navigate the rest of the balls.
Yeah.
Looking forward.
Let's go one ball at a time here.
One ball at a time, absolutely. But he doesn't play one ball at a time either.
Well, no, they're thinking several balls ahead, but should he miss any of those?
Well, he
Or get out of line with
Really
the
went
cue ball.
down with that one. Expect that. I kind of thought he was going to go back and forth a little bit, using the long rails and stay up by the 8. He called the right corner. That's a nice shot. The pocket should accept it nicely, hitting it. Oh, he hit it in the other corner.
He's just jacked up ever so slightly over that 7, but he's in no real danger. It's just moving the cue ball.
Right, because he really can't get to that right side of the cue ball without jacking up. He can
Punch it off the rail.
punch it off the rail, right, just as much center as possible. And he's looking at it to see where he's got to go. And he got a little
He
rough.
decided not to punch off.
Yeah, he got a little rough on his on the 3, so he can get close to the 5 because the 6. The 6 is not too bad. He might be
Well,
able
he's
to play
got
it in
an
the
angle to
side.
come off.
Yeah, he's
come
gonna
off
play it
the
in the
top
corner.
rail.
All right,
You can draw it
just
a
make
little.
this one ball at a time. Make this.
Oh, wow.
I said make it.
He didn't get that memo.
Yeah. Well, and he got. He may be shooting again, but I don't like giving this away.
I don't think he's shooting. No. I don't think he's shooting again. I'll be surprised unless it's. Well, we don't have the right angle. Let me change that angle for you for a second. There we go.
Nice. I don't know. This is a rough decision to make, whether to let him take a swing at it and jump it.
I mean, if he can see a clip of it,
He's gonna.
then he can do exactly that. Clip it and bring it down to the short rail. And
Right.
bring
He's
the cue
gonna
ball
bend
straight.
it and clip it. I don't know if he banked. He called the bank, or is he just calling a safe? Well, it doesn't matter if he called either because
He's on Mount Everest over there.
he won't get back to the table with the 5 with that shot. Yeah, he's got that 9-ball blocked him out a little bit.
The thing is that this is actually pretty natural. He just shoots the 5 in. He's
Just
got a
make
shot on
it.
the 6.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
make it and come back up. Let's see that we had something natural here. The 7, I don't think goes, so he'll have
The
to draw
side
this
pocket
back.
or-
Yeah, draw it back for the side. Creepy.
He took 2 steps back like that was going to help.
he was hoping. It's like, wait, I mean, like pull his shoelace back.
What are you, towing us? Towing the cue ball?
Beep.
Just into the booth from Jared the Jazzman. He says the Asian invasion in the finals.
Ah, he heard me, didn't he? That's what I said. I'm gonna have a chat with Jared. He's getting all my Snooki isms out.
Well, you got a little angle going towards the right, I think. He's going to have to follow this. That was a good move. He just got up from it.
Well, can he go forward? No, he can't go forward. He could go
He can go
forward.
forward.
If
That's what
wanted,
he needs
could
to
go
do,
forward.
I believe.
I think that might be the best option.
Yeah, go forward. Use that short rail up there. Wow.
Oh, he didn't have to. He had a smaller angle then.
Nice.
I thought he had a bigger angle. No, he did come in with a little inside and come off the rim. He's good, though. He's got an angle to get back to 10.
Wise beyond his years, this young man. The way he moves the cue ball and very nice. With that, he was at the table with the break and trailing by 3-2.
It's one of my best students. No.
Yeah, no, he really
Just
is. I mean,
kidding.
he does things. He is a pro, but he does things that older pros do. And while you're watching, and when we're commentating, we say, "Oh, he's going to do this or he's going to do that," and then a lot of these pros, they do things, and you're like, "Wow, I never thought of that." Well, we didn't think of it because we're not pros. And at 20 years old, he's already doing it. Seasoned veteran. Looks like
Well, folks, it looks like my team needs me to double up on matches today.
there you go.
And
So-
I'm going to have to take off and leave you guys
Well,
with
what
these.
about this team?
Well, I would love to sit here
There's
and watch
no
the rest of this.
I
but-
in team. There goes the break, and he does make the wing ball. That second
4,
ball.
7, and a 2.
Oh,
Got it.
goodness.
Yeah.
Well, at least I saw that beautiful break.
Yeah,
All right,
very
guys.
nice.
Very
Nice,
nice
Snook.
chatting with you guys.
Good
and
luck.
Thank you.
Shoot 'em
Bye-bye.
into the
All right,
rail.
Snooks, good luck. The 1-6 combination is definitely on. Just got to hold the cue ball up there for the 1. 3 balls right down there next to the long rail.
Yeah, nice break there.
Oh,
Watch the cue ball.
Whoa. He might have got out of position here.
He sure did.
He did. He got himself caught up behind the 5 ball.
All right, Al. Jack up a little bit.
Spin it off the rail.
Spin it off the rail. It's a big ball.
Yeah, but you know something?
He called it.
Yeah, he called it.
What happens? I know.
Yeah, you're going to get down here by the 8-10. I mean, where's the cue ball going to go? It's not going to come out too sharp. It's going to come out long.
At least he'll have a shot on the 3 to play a better safe than playing the
guess.
safe from here. He just looked at the other way, playing the safe, playing it off the long rail. That might be a good decision too, because he doesn't have to make this either. Yeah, he could have played safe too. Safe probably would have been a better option. Go off the long rail and just fight another battle. But he'll never know.
Well, the only thing that I really know is
Yeah.
letting this tiger back out of the gate.
Oh, he is a tiger too.
Yes, well, actually, he's a dragon. His nickname is Flying Dragon, is his nickname, and Ping Chung's nickname is King Killer.
I think they made those up on the fly.
No pun intended. They did fly over.
Yeah. So we got to come up with nicknames.
Well,
You know,
somebody on this table is going to have the nickname of being champion.
Yeah,
that's
right.
And they're going to be right on that banner next year.
4th annual Steinway Classic champion. And they're leaving with a couple titles.
Hopefully come back to defend their title.
Yep. U.S. Open champions. Who won the Gotham 3 weeks ago?
Tell you what, everybody that was sitting around as a spectator won the Gotham.
Yeah, absolutely. That was another great event. We have a great month of pool. And as we're chit-chatting away, Chang Yu Lung is puts one up on the board. And with this break, if he makes a ball, I foresee him staying at the table for a while, barring any, balls getting tied up or anything, because he gets into a groove. I think he's going to be tough to beat. I think he has the edge over.
I'm surprised you don't remember who won the Gotham City Billiard Tournament. You were there.
I know I was there. It's
Mike DeShane. There was a big write-up on it, right on AZ Billiards on the front page. Mike DeShane.
Well, you haven't let me out of the booth in like 3 weeks.
I know, everything comes together, right? You know what's scary? When you look at the crowd here and you think you're looking at a monitor. It happened to me 2 to 3 times over these last 3 days.
It's like the Matrix.
Well, I see the tables in front of me here over the monitors, right? And I'm saying, wait a minute, I'm calling the wrong match. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I'm here, to give you a break once in a while.
Well, right now, I can't tell you how sore my throat feels right now. Must have caught something. There's hundreds and hundreds of people in here. And between Sammy and Brooke and everybody sitting here, I got a counter full of holes, and I'm talking about real good stuff too. Sepulchral, and that's why Snooki says she's sorry she has to leave. But we can throw somebody else in here. I can grab Tony Robles. You want me to grab him and put him in their box?
Hey, anybody's welcome. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
I mean, I could do this. I could fly solo too. And here we go. Here's the break. And a loud noise.
And the 1 ball lines up.
Let's see the 7's trying to get over there, but it's not going to work. 3, 6, 9, 10, and no help. Yeah, the break's not cooperating this match as much as it was in previous matches. A couple balls on a rail. 2, 3, 4. 5's got the side. The 6 ball, he gets right with the 4 to the 5, which is tricky. The 7's down there. Nice. So even if he overshoots it, he can play the bank combo. All right, let's go. 1 ball at a time, make the 1. I don't like getting over there because you can't reach it. It's like it's not a red zone that you want to call it, because it's easy to just use the bridge and make it, but you can easily put it in a spot a little bit more to the left of that and not have to use the bridge. Come out with the same results. Very nice touch with the cue ball. Let's squeeze in between the 10 and the 9 here, I believe. Starting to look a little comfortable. It's not good to see if you're sitting in the seat. He just roll up a little bit. I guess he's got a little window. Shouldn't get too far. And wow, there's a tight window because of the 10 sitting there. That's what I call pinpoint position, huh? First. Very nice shoot. Ping Chung moves a little closer and makes this a match. Oh boy, you guys are in for a treat, by the way. Got someone stepping into the booth, big secret.
Well, folks, guess what? You're not going to guess. Here's the man himself, Mr. Ralph K. In the booth, going to call this match. Thank you, Ralph, so much for sitting in.
No problem, Al.
And Troy sitting on the other end, trying to hide. Here we go.
How you doing, Mr. Suke? Troy, pleasure to meet you.
Nice meeting you. Actually doing okay.
You all right?
Obviously,
Yeah.
you know, wishing to be on the other side.
Absolutely, and you played well. I watched you play. I was rooting for you, actually. I was like,
Thanks, appreciate it.
He's only saying that because you're sitting in the booth.
Actually,
Ralph.
no. I'm being truthful.
I know. I'm only teasing.
I said I don't want.
I'm only
I said I want to see an older guy win it. I don't want to see a 19-year-old
Oh, that should
kid.
make Ralph feel good.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Thanks a lot, appreciate that.
I said, not an, you know, just that someone my age. Like, there's hope for me.
I hear you.
So I want to see a 19-year-old kid win this thing.
Well,
Hey, he's playing really well, isn't
he's
he?
playing well. I mean, both co-brothers are playing well.
Yeah, absolutely.
One ranked 1 in the world, the other one ranked 8. So that says a lot.
Absolutely. And the whole team has done well. Kevin winning the U.S. Open over there.
Yep.
And you played well here. You had a lot of great matches
I played well at the Open, but
here.
this tournament here not as
good
good as expected.
Right. And what was your place finish in this one?
Only 25th.
Oh,
through
okay.
32nd.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because you were playing yesterday. I was watching. You were playing well. And at the Open,
I finished 4th.
you should be proud of that then.
Yeah, that was a pretty good tournament.
Absolutely.
Had a lot of tight matches on the second last day. With
Jason Shore, right?
he was the last one, 11:10 at 3:30 in the morning.
Oh my
Right.
God.
I heard about that.
That's rough.
That went hill, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And so did the match before against Shinakov.
Oh, Russian Shirnikov, right?
Yeah.
That's draining. You going hill. That takes a lot out of you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And the match before was 11-9. So
Wow. Yeah. So you had some really good
against
matches.
Corey, yep.
And the format over there would lend to that more than this format, where it's an alternate break, I believe, right? In the Open,
No, it was winner's
It
break.
was a winner's break
Yeah.
also. Okay.
It was 9-ball, though, and the 9 was on the spot. They were playing with the Accurac. Ralph, do you remember years ago, I specifically remember this. It was in one of the hotels down in Manhattan. I think it was the old Roosevelt, and it was the World Straight Pool Tournament, and you were playing a gentleman by the name of Tommy Walters, and he needed about 20-something balls, and he was firing a 4-ball into the side pocket and missed it, and then you got out?
I really don't remember, to be
Okay.
honest.
Okay. All right.
That was 100 years ago.
Yeah, but to me, yeah, that's what it seems like. But because Tommy's a good friend of ours, you know.
Okay.
And,
I remember the name though, so I
Yeah,
probably
Tommy,
would
really,
recognize
really
him
nice
again.
guy.
Yeah.
Well, I do remember the hotel, the Roosevelt Hotel, and that was the old PPPA World Straight Pool Open. That's where.
Anyway, look at this match here.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, pretty good safety here by Ping Chung. Probably looking like a 2-rail kick here. I don't know if you can actually get underneath the 2 to make
Low
the
enough?
cue ball stop there right by the 4
right.
and send the 2 ball out. It's kind of hard to tell from here if the gap is big enough.
He shortened it up a little bit.
Well, he hit it perfect. I don't know what he called here. Did he call a 4?
He must have.
Wow.
He figures he was swinging at him, and he might as well call something because there's
Yeah,
really
but if
no safe.
I know, but you know. But if he, you know, if he called a safety or if he called the ball and didn't make it,
Right.
then he may have to shoot again. So that's a tricky situation.
Well, he's back at the table. Oh, and he hit that a little bad. He'd like that one back, wouldn't he?
It was a hard shot, you know, being way down there on the rail. Not that he couldn't make it.
Not an easy shot, but usually a shot that he
Yeah,
makes like,
9.
yeah, I would
9
say
out of 10 at least.
95 out of 100. I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Ralph, me myself, I never had the opportunity to go over to Taiwan and stuff like that. How do these guys train over there? These guys just look like complete men of steel.
Well, I don't know exactly how they train. I just watched them several times when they play each other for money, actually gambling. And they have such tight equipment there. I mean, the pockets are so tight that these pockets here, they must look like buckets to them. You know.
Okay.
Oh, so they're playing like the Chinese 8-ball tables, kind of.
Not really, because Chinese 8-ball table is a snooker pocket
Right,
with round pockets,
right.
you know. So that's a different story.
So they just play with
Just
4.5
super tight
pockets,
pockets,
super
yeah.
tight pockets. Right.
Like the one table they have in here, I don't know the number.
All right, like 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
right.
3. It's 3. In fact, Dennis Acolo's on there. In a
Yeah,
match.
and that's what they play on basically all day.
Right.
You
Well,
know.
not how they train, but how about your team itself? How do you guys train? Do you train individually or as a group?
Usually we practice, or I practice just by myself.
Okay.
You know, like once or twice a year we meet with the German national team and we do a little, you know, like a weekend practice together, do some drills, exercises.
And the national team is a separate entity. As we talking away, Ping Chung adds another one to his scoreboard and getting ready to break. And I'll get back to that. Do you guys train as a team? Not you, like your country. Do they train their players? Is there a school or an academy for them?
Not really, no. No, we just have a so-called national coach, that does the 2-3 weekends per year.
Okay.
So and he comes up with exercises, drills, and stuff that we do at that weekend. But he also gives us some homework so we can
Work on it
work
on
on
the
it
outside.
while we are at home. And yeah,
Okay. Well, so you have a little helping hand, not
yeah.
not as much as you'd possibly like. Or and
Yeah,
how
of
about for the younger players that are just starting out? Is there anything for them?
They actually have more weekends.
Okay.
And they have better seminars or more seminars. So they actually have a pretty good system in Germany.
Very good. It's nice to hear. You got to keep this game alive.
Good break here, but cue ball got kicked almost into the corner. So now from here it's
Yeah, he made the second
the ball
2 and a 3 ball.
Yeah,
or whatever,
behind
the
the one. Yeah.
head ball. He's somewhat conservative in his play too. He plays a lot of safes as of.
Which is important. I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely.
That's a very important part of the game, and it also comes from practicing on the tight tables because you
Right.
cannot go for everything.
Right. Yeah.
If you do that, you're you're in big trouble.
Right. Yeah.
Here you can
that
play
makes a good
maybe a little
point.
more offensive because the pockets are a little looser. Not
Right.
that they're easy, but
Right. That brings up a really great point on how when they're training and they're playing on these tight pockets, so they're constantly just made aware of how tight the pockets are. So we're going to play safe here because it's too much of a chance to risk to try
Exactly,
and take this shot. That was a really great point. And you train yourself in that way, in that manner, even if the pockets are a little bigger.
yeah, of course.
I'm saying, you know what? I play it safe here. This is my routine. I play it safe here because there's too much of a chance. I'm going to continue to play
Yep.
my game and play it safe.
Even though looks like the 7 is wide open, not easy because the cue ball is close to the end rail, but pretty sure he's gonna.
Fire at this,
Yeah, absolutely.
and he is a little more aggressive. One of the,
He's a good shot maker. Yeah.
and he's a good shot maker, team Taiwanese player. He has his style is more open.
But
He got rewarded.
yeah, that was the only
Downfall of that
downfall
shot.
at that shot. Yeah, because he
He's
didn't
going to the
really
air.
had a clear path for the cue ball unless he would have
He took a chance.
hit it with a lot of right hand English, but that makes the
Cue
one
ball.
ball a much tougher shot.
Right. He's going to the air.
Yeah, and they're all good at jumping too, so
Yeah.
that's something they practice all day long too.
He calls it 2, I believe. Watch the pocket. We're going to see if he called it 2.
I think he called a safety because
Yeah,
it
it wouldn't-
didn't make sense to call it.
It wouldn't matter if he called it safe or if he called it 2. He's not getting
Well,
back
in
at the
this
table.
case, yeah, but if he would have called the 2 in one of the pockets, then he still would have to face a tough 3 ball.
Right. Oh, yeah, wow. I don't even
That's-
know if he can see it.
Definitely not happy with the outcome of that one.
He'll be stretching out here a little bit.
Well, game 9.
He's playing
Maybe
this.
it's going to be. I think it's his first time lead in the match, if I'm not mistaken. I missed the
So you're-
first
you're-
part of the match.
So you're saying that Copen is going to get out here, right?
Yeah, I mean he's supposed to. I mean, 4 balls basically all
In the pockets.
in
right?
in front of the side pockets, short distance, nothing to do really.
Just make sure you get yourself out of the way here.
Yeah,
He looks very comfortable at the table right now also. And if Ping Chung gets to 13 first. This will be an extended race. Then they will go to 15. This is a
Folks, I just want to bring you up to date that Ralph might not be able to sit in as long as you might think. I don't know if he has dinner or something he has to do, but
I'll have a cheesecake waiting.
I asked him just to sit in for a couple of racks because my throat and stuff, and Ralph agreed to do so. But I had a promise I wouldn't get him sick.
And Ralph, fill us in what you're off to next.
Well, I'm going back to Germany tomorrow morning.
Okay. Have a safe flight, by the way.
Thank you.
And good luck, whatever you're going to do.
Thanks. Yeah, we're going to have a Bundesliga, which is the German league weekend, which is, basically playing for the German championships team. But this is only the second weekend out of 7 total.
Oh, okay, nice. So you play more of a round robin type?
Yep,
okay.
It actually is, 8 teams in the league, and we play each team twice in the season. We have a home game and an away game.
Okay. That's nice, a nice league.
Yep.
And do you have to travel all over Germany, or is this relatively
all
regional?
over Germany.
Oh,
yep.
all over. Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's a little bit of so you're not done traveling, by the way.
No.
So I would imagine you bump into Ralph Eckert, right?
Yeah, he actually started playing for Hamburg this season. So that will be his, I think, first time in the German league in I don't know how many years.
Wow.
And him and Oliver Ortmann are on the same team.
That sounds like a strong little team they got going there now.
And we will meet them in the beginning of December.
Okay. Young whippersnappers.
Yeah, and then on Monday I'm already going to the All Japan Championships.
Yes, everyone's heading out there. Yeah.
Followed by a Chinese ranking tournament.
And that's for the points are involved in that?
I'm not sure if it actually carries points for the WPA ranking or not.
Right, okay.
Maybe not. I'm not 100% sure. But it's a pretty good purse. It's about $16,000 first place. So.
Nice. And what are you looking forward to the most? Any big major events coming up after this?
Derby City.
Great.
Well, obviously I was still hoping until 3 days ago to maybe catch the spot in the Moscone Cup for Team Europe, but unfortunately I missed out.
Oh,
no,
man.
I didn't make it, no. I think if I would have won the US Open, there was a pretty good chance that I still got one of the spots, but
you came close.
4th place wasn't good enough.
Wow.
That's okay. Europe has so many strong players.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that shows you how strong of a field it's going to be.
Yeah, and every player that is on the team, deserves his spot, no doubt about that.
Well, look at what we have here. We have Carl Boys was here. We had Nick Vandenberg here. We had Daryl Peach here.
Yeah.
The Euro invasion.
Yeah. Only Albin Ushan and Niels Fein were missing. They both played at the US Open though, both had to go home, do other stuff.
Take care of business.
Yep.
What do you think about the showing here, Ralph? I mean, like 3/4 of the field of the U.S. Open showed up here at Steinway.
Yep, very good tournament.
Great, strong tournament.
Yep.
I'm still ecstatic, Ralph. The electricity's going through me. The buzz that started here a week
very
before.
tough field. I mean.
Yeah.
Nearly as strong as the U.S. Open itself.
Yeah. There was a good 80. I called them household names in the pool world, and they were all there, same as the Open. And the Open had a few players. It was an open field, so they did allow anybody that came up with the cash to play in it,
Which is always the case.
Yeah, which is always the case.
That's
but
okay.
But you didn't have as many. It would have been a couple $100 tournament. So they jacked up the entry fee, which would eliminate a lot of players saying, I'll pay a couple $100, maybe I'll play Ralph's. Okay,
exactly,
so we'll get rid of that. So you did have a lot of competition. Ping Chung is still at the table here.
Yeah, after, again, a bad safety by Chang Yu Lung. He left the 1 ball open for him, even though, Ping Chung didn't really get an easy position from the 1 to the 2. So
Wow, he played that bad.
forced to play a safety, but a really bad one. Gives Chang Yu Lung the chance maybe to tie the game up. I don't know if the 3 passes the 10 or if he's looking at a possible combination here.
Yeah, if Ping Chung was shooting right now, I would venture out to say he wouldn't go for the 310. But Chang seems a little more aggressive.
And again, with the pockets being a little bigger here, there's a pretty good chance. And yeah,
And he got real close to it, too.
Yep. Perfect angle. Just played nice speed, so-called pocket speed.
Pocket speed. Let it accept it if he slops it in a little bit.
Oh yeah. I thought it was
Very nice.
too thin, but he hit it good.
And with that, he's going to put another one up on a beat, and we're knotted up at 5.
Keep in mind, folks, all Chang Yu Lung has to do is get to 13. And if Ping Chung should get to 13 first, it's extended to 15. So because he came from the B side of the chart. So all Chang has to do is get to 13 first, and he will be the champion of the 4th annual Steinway Classic.
But
Ralph, I don't want to hold you up too much, so anytime
okay,
you have to get up, you let me. I don't want to throw you out either.
No, it's okay.
You know I want to hold you, but
I got the duct tape out. I'm going to tie him to the chair.
he's such a nice guy. Yeah, I don't want to take advantage of him.
I'll hang in here for a little while.
Yeah,
Okay, thank
Do
you,
another
Ralph.
couple of games.
When his cheesecake starts calling his stomach, that's
I don't
when
know.
he's going to be gone.
I hope there's still some left. You know? I looked at it when I came in, and it was
It
still
looked back at you.
a couple
didn't
pieces
it?
left.
And well, the place is filled up, so don't be surprised if it's not there.
And I had a piece yesterday already. It was
I know
delicious.
You did.
Yeah.
I did
That's what-
too. It was really nice and creamy. It was nice.
Yep.
All right, here we go. We're tied at 5 apiece.
Watch the 6 and the 8. And the 2 and the 3 go around the horn. The 6 ball falls
Too
a little
short.
short, and here comes the 3. And it hangs up. He leaves him an open table with a 1-3 combination. Just got to watch the speed of the 1 so he hangs that back up.
Not necessarily. If he makes both balls, he
It's
will
okay.
get automatic shape on the 2 in the same pocket. So
Right.
you just don't want to hit the rail first. So
Have it leak out and
make
behind
the
it
1
too.
ball travel towards the 5, because
Right.
then you might be in trouble. Yeah. Yep, perfect.
You called it. And just swing around for this 4. Leave yourself a little angle for the 5. I see no problems here. How about you? Just
No,
make sure he gets in line here with this next
I
shot.
mean, it always looks easy from here. you
Oh, I
know.
haven't missed the ball yet all weekend. And he executes really well.
Yeah, he does, even though he came a little short here.
Yep.
So he's got to have a little work to do. Played with some inside English to get between the 10 and the 5.
Or he can always come back right to where his cue ball is now, somewhere in the center of the table.
But I don't think you want to go that way. I wouldn't want to go that way.
No, I'm going to
But, okay. Bumping into the 10.
move the furniture, as we call
Yep.
it, right? I remember when I was about 13, so this is 100 years ago. During that same Open at the Roosevelt, there was a German junior, real tall fellow. I believe his last name was Lundgren, maybe.
Say it again.
Lundgren?
Lundgren. That doesn't sound German. That might have been the Swedish player then. Because the only player back then from Germany could be either Oliver Ortmann or Norbert Lang.
Lang.
But he
Okay,
was a short
Norbert.
guy.
Okay, now I remember. Yeah, I'm mixing the Swede up with Norbert. Yep. Is he still playing?
No, unfortunately he died.
Oh,
But
wow.
already at least 10 years ago, yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. We had they had a whole contingency team that played in the men's open. They had a few of the women and the juniors, and we had a really good time. They like to party, by the way.
Oops. Wow, look at this
Watch
spin
out.
here.
All right, he's in good shape.
Whoa, yeah. he was a little worried.
Yeah. Now do you just pocket
Because
this in the corner
He
and
got reverse English on the second rail and almost hooked himself behind the 10.
he plays it in the corner? There you go. He doesn't have to do much here. The 10 ball's sitting up pretty good too.
Yeah, maybe stopping or maybe a little draw shot if he's straight in. Yeah.
He plays really nice. Yeah, and this was, I'm going to say, and with that, we're going to put him
6-5
Ping
ahead.
Chung up 6-5, and with the break. Yeah, this was approximately, I'm going to say, late 90s, early 80s when that tournament was.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember having a blast because they were all there, and some were there to really play, and some were there because it was New York City, and they had a blast.
Yeah. Yeah, back then, none of them really, came here to win.
Right,
It was
right,
more,
right, right. Yeah.
I've seen all the great names
Right.
and sucking up the atmosphere and most likely learn something.
Right. That was when, in the Swedish team, that was when Eva Svensson came to the country,
Yep.
and I was actually there that day that she met her future ex-husband. I guess
Yeah.
it would be right. And it's just a big team of players. It was something I always
Ralph, I
will
have some
remember.
bad news for you.
No more cheesecake?
They have no more cheesecake. But the tiramisu is really delicious, and George, the owner, said bring him the tiramisu. That's up to
All
you.
right, thanks.
Okay,
That
the
was-
napkin is underneath.
That
All right,
wasn't
thanks,
that-
appreciate it.
That
Okay.
wasn't hard to take there. Very good. Here we go, and we put the score up 6-5, and he got kicked
Oh.
around.
That's bad luck.
Well, you think it was bad luck, or was it he didn't park the cue ball? So
Well, I mean, it's very tough to park widey always in the
Right,
center.
right.
And even though if you hit it good, it still
can get kicked, right?
can get kicked.
Yeah.
And of course, it went a bit far down, but it's not obvious that a ball will kick the cue ball in.
Now,
I don't know if the 3 and
Three goes
5,
on the side.
3 and 4 are so tied up that the 3 doesn't go. No, it looks open the way he played it. Yeah.
Yeah. see what kind of angle he has. Is he just going to pull back and play the 4 in the same pocket?
Yeah, it looks like maybe 3 balls in the same pocket. 3, 4, 5. That's one pocket in the side pocket.
So let's play some one pocket in the side. And he's got the 9.
That's Earl Strickland's kind of game.
Oh, he'd just love that, wouldn't he? Just follow up here for the 8. 9's hanging in the side. I see no problem. He's going to make him pay for that scratch real quick, isn't he?
Yep, definitely. He's going to tie up the match again. 6 apiece.
And that's getting back to the old days. That's where I eventually first met Tony Robles. Was during that time. And
Yeah,
here we go.
super nice guy.
Oh, he's the best.
Actually, my host this weekend or this
Oh, he was.
this
All right.
tournament. Yeah,
Very nice. We're going to put
stayed
that
at his home with some of the
out
Dutch
in Long
players.
Island. Oh, very good.
Yep,
Chang
him
Yu
and his
Lung.
wife Gail are lovely people. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and great hosts.
Yeah.
No
that's
doubt
good.
about that. Yeah. Talking about the devil, here he comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna come in and sit with you.
Well, he's going to sit with you. I'm going to enjoy the tiramisu.
He's a poet. here we are, 6-6. Winding this down. I'd like to see one of these players catch a little gear. They've been battling back and forth,
Yeah,
maybe
trading racks. Yeah.
trading racks and playing safes and not opening up.
Rob, Tony Robles just reassured me that he's going to come in the booth and commentate with you. We want to hold you longer, and anytime you want to eat a piece of that delicious cake, you can see it floating around here. It's the second best. You hit this, and you are muted.
Okay.
And you could eat anytime you want. You're the only one allowed to eat in this booth.
He kicks me out, absolutely. Goes points over there. He's like, go eat over there.
You have VIP.
I don't want to hear you chopping.
Yeah, you just want to keep me in the booth. That's why.
Yeah, I do.
Well, if you
Excuse me, I got to go off.
I was going to say, if you put the camera back on us, here's the break. Let's get back to the match. He took a little off of that, which I liked. But he still didn't make anything. The table's changed up a little bit.
Yep.
The balls get a little dirty from your hands.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
The tables possibly got a little chalk on it here and there. More people in the room.
Yeah, as soon as the temperature changes, the humidity changes, the whole outcome is different.
Especially on the break, absolutely, yeah. So you have to quickly adjust. Now they both have seen 3 or 4 break shots that they've come up dry. So let's see if they go to school on it. Nice shot. Watch your scratch.
Oh wow.
That's just amazing how the cue ball went through there.
Yeah, that's
threading the needle, right?
Did it go through the 3 and a 10? Didn't
Yep,
it?
yep.
He put his cue there to take a look at it and see. Wow, how did I fall through there? That's what we call falling through the cracks.
Well, I think he was trying to break that 2 10-ball cluster there.
That's exactly what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wanted to go directly on it or maybe even 3 rails.
Right.
And come from behind. But I assume he was trying to hit it from
the face?
Well, he did
Yeah,
have
from the
enough
face,
speed
yeah.
on that cue ball, though, to go 3 rails
Yeah.
if he was trying it. That was some chance he shot. Just to even, I don't know if you can get a better angle on this. Let me see if we can get a better angle on where that cue ball actually came through. Look at that. That's pretty
it's
tight.
Fit a
It is,
truck
yeah.
through there.
Yeah.
if he would have hit the 3, then
Yeah,
he probably could have caromed into the
Yeah.
cluster or hit the 10 directly. And the chances of scratching here were quite low.
Yeah, yeah. He found a percentage.
Yeah. Looking for the window, found one.
You playing him safe?
Yep.
Wow. Oh, that's not a good save.
I have to agree. Anytime you leave the ball in the next rotation near a pocket.
Yeah, it's not good.
I have to
I
agree.
mean, he cut off an angle real good with
It's
the
still
4.
not that easy to hit.
Oh, absolutely not, because of the 4 ball sitting there.
And
But
the
I
3 and 8 ball,
I think he has
just leaving a
room here.
small window, but it's
Not impossible.
He
though.
doesn't.
not impossible. No.
Not impossible, but he doesn't have a natural path to it.
Yeah, but almost.
How about the billiard? Where's it go? The 6 is in the way. He's gonna. Is he gonna shorten this up, or he's gonna
No, he's
try
going
and get
natural.
to
just-
3?
He's going natural. Straight ahead.
Oh,
Oh. I think he hit it way too short, way too soft. I mean,
too soft. Yeah, you
Yeah.
needed to pound that a
because
little bit.
even with that speed, he would have probably made it, but then had a super long shot on the 3.
Right.
So now Ping Chung is on 2.
I don't think he's going to see 3 here.
Yeah, I doubt that. The table is wide open now, and
Yeah, no problems here. I usually say there's no problems on the table, only the ones you're going to make them. Right? If you kind of get out of line.
might be a little tricky to get from the 4 to the 5.
5, right.
Because I don't know if that gap is big enough, if you can pass the 10 ball.
He's going to play it right in the side. Put it right by the spot. He's got a nice little angle here to go 2 rails. Nice speed. Came up a little short.
He's got some work to do.
Yeah. He's going to have to flatten this out if he decides to
Maybe
go 2 rails.
2 rails, but then you have to avoid hitting the 9.
Right.
Otherwise, you're in trouble.
Right.
But once you avoided the 9, then you can. Then it's an automatic. But it's not. It looks quite
Tough. Yeah, this
tough.
is tough.
Yeah.
He's got to flatten it out, I think. A little bit of reverse and pound it. Oh, he used running English. Watch the side.
That's good. Hit it really good.
Very nice shot.
Little one pocket action going on.
Yeah, he hits this real nice. With very nice touch. He's not undefeated for nothing. He's playing real good this weekend.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what. So is Ping Chung, 6'6"
Oh.
right now.
I don't think he's happy with that angle.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to get that far over, did he?
Came like a foot too long here.
He can just roll up. He doesn't have to. He can just slow roll this bounce off the rail enough.
Just make it, right?
Yeah, and take the longer shot. You don't really have to get on top of it.
Oh, yeah?
See how thin that was?
Yeah. He says, I'd like to shoot him nice and close.
Especially the 9 and the 10, right? Or anything coming close to the 10.
Well, anyways, I mean, he's having a good year. He won the World Cup of Pool together with Ping Chung's brother, Ping Yi,
Oh, okay.
just recently in England,
Very nice. Yeah, we're
winning
gonna-
that title and pocketing $30,000 each. So that was
Nice trip.
good payday. Yep.
Yeah, that's nice. That'll pay for some travel expenses.
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of that it's costly. I mean, it was good that you got hosted, and that was
That definitely helped. Yeah.
great that Tony and Gail do that, and possibly more people should think about doing that when you guys are in the area. If you can host a team of players, or even if it's 1 or 2 players, it takes a financial burden off of
Yeah, especially in New York. I mean,
New York, forget it, yeah. Other places, there might be hostels that you'd be able to stay rather cheaply, but New York metropolitan area, even Taiwan probably is somewhat expensive, I would imagine.
well, I haven't been there in I don't know how many years now, 6, 7 years, because unfortunately they don't have any big international tournaments anymore.
Right, okay.
But up to that point, the hotel prices were okay.
Okay.
You know, between
okay, but
$70 and $100 for a room is not too bad.
Big break, and he makes
Very
that
good
9
break,
on the side.
Parked Whitey great in the center.
Wow, good shot.
Made 2 balls. Has not a hanger on the 3 because
Yeah, the 3 has a pocket, I believe.
yeah, it should pass the.
Goes
Oh no, we
past-
have the 1 ball there. I didn't even see the 1.
Yeah, yeah. He's looking right now where he wants
Hey,
to.
Ralph, remember the gentleman that played the saxophone down at the U.S. Open, Jarrett?
Yeah,
Yeah, he just sent in a text message to the booth that he says hello. He wanted to say hello to you.
hi Jared.
He's out there. He was supposed to come here, but he had other obligations that he had to do. Something
Probably
came
had
up.
a gig.
And a gig.
Yeah, he does have a lot of gigs. He sure does.
Got a 3/4 of a pocket there. And he took it to the left side of that pocket, which was a very nice shot.
Yeah, looking good, looking solid.
Yeah, he is looking solid. He's not only looking solid, he looks like he's totally in control.
Well, in a race to 13 in his case, and he's only up by 1 game at this point, so
Right.
I wouldn't call that in total control.
No, I'm saying control of the
Of course, yeah, the way he plays, the
he's
way
playing,
he's
the table.
going around the table, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree, yeah.
He
But they
was-
both look like
oh,
confident and
Once they're at the table, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You want to try and keep Ping Chung in the chair as long
Yeah.
as possible. He's too young and has too much energy to want to stay at that table for too long.
well, I mean, he doesn't know the feeling of what could happen if I miss here, you know. He's
That's-
still aggressive
Right.
and
He don't miss, that's why.
yeah, doesn't fear.
Well,
at
I'll tell
all.
you, you talk about fear. We had a gentleman here named Frenchie from Chicago, and Ken and the whole crew. And let me tell you something, Frenchie lit this place on fire. He was all around the room. He had action going on just about every table in here when they weren't being used for the tournament. Frenchie, if you're listening in, we want to say hello to you and the family out there in Chicago. From the AZB TV booth, Mr. Ralph Souquet and Troy in the booth. Let them take it away. My throats are kind of raw.
Thanks again, Al. And with that, you can put up another bead. That felt good. That was a nice rack for him.
Now a race to 5 for Chang Yu Lung. And a race to 9 for Ping Chung.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Ko's got to get to 15 if he should get to 13 first, right? Yeah, that's the way it goes. Now, what do you think of that format of it's a double elimination, but it's a modified double elimination?
I actually like it, to be honest, because there should be a reward for coming from the winner's side, not having lost a match.
Right.
I know it's kind of hard to sell this, through the media, that one guy has, to go to 15, the other guy goes only to 13, but I think it's even harder if it's a true double elimination and one guy wins and then they have to play again.
Right. He took some off that break. Let's see if he gets rewarded for it. Wow, he's got a little smirk to where I can't believe I can't make a ball on a break. And
I think he didn't wreck the balls good this
Really?
time, because
Yeah.
you could tell that the 10 ball was flying around the
Oh,
table
so
right away.
The back balls were a little loose, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Now look at the 4-10.
Well, it doesn't look straight in, but again,
pocket.
with the slightly bigger pockets, and if they're not too far apart, then it's
Should go,
looking
right?
good for.
Yeah.
And now we're having a timeout, which means I can enjoy my tiramisu.
There you go. Ralph, you enjoy
Absolutely.
your tiramisu?
Go right ahead. Tony
And it was
Robles will be in shortly. Enjoy, Ralph.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, sir.
He's staying. Well, I'll tell you, I hope you guys are enjoying Mr. Ralph Souquet. He's always a pleasure having him in the booth. There are other players in the wings. But I had Ralph in the booth several times.
So we're back in business. Ping Chung back at the table.
And we are back that quick. And it looks like the 410 It's going to be a race to the 4. And if Ping Chung can get there, he will pull within 1 of Chang Yu Lung. And the gentleman that I was just talking about, Frenchie, oh, he broke it up, huh? Wow, Ralph, would you have done that? Well, he had no choice.
He probably had no choice. You know, looking from here, as I said before, you know, it wasn't straight in. And if the balls were frozen and the angle was too much, then he couldn't even throw the 10 ball in, and that's probably why he decided to break the cluster. But again, I mean, the 7-8 is looking good for a combination, but it doesn't look straight as well, so he's got to do... Oh,
that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. And I can imagine how my man Frenchie out there watching with his brother John is saying, that's my horse. Frenchie has Ping Chung in the Calcutta. Frenchie has all of them, by the way. He had you too, Ralph.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Frenchie bought half the field, if not 3/4.
Yeah.
He's beautiful.
I'm just not sure if he has both of the Taiwanese players here or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But I'd like to see him again. Hopefully I'll see him up in Rhode Island or somewhere on the road, because it was a pleasure hanging out with him. All right, 4 ball into the side pocket, 5 ball into the opposite side, and well, looks, you guys can see it right where it is. The only thing, like Ralph mentioned, was the 7 and 8, and we're going to get a better look at that in a sec. See, it's not really on, but it's makeable.
It's makeable, but then it's a little harder to figure out where the 7 ball goes and to play good shape for the 7 at the same time. But he doesn't have much angle now, so maybe he has to play position for the combination.
Right.
If he would have had a little more angle, then he could have just played position for the 7 in the opposite corner pocket. But from here,
in other words, it's
tricky
harder
shot
to control both balls, the cue ball and the 7 on that, that combination.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, here he comes. Let's see how he lines up here. Well, this isn't too bad right here, is it, Ralph?
It's not too bad, but you know, it depends on how hard he plays it and which pocket he's aiming for the 7 ball. Maybe he plays it hard with the stop shot, makes the 7 ball go 2-3 rails.
Oh, that could be trouble. Well, he played that so smart, because the whole left side of the table is empty, and he hit it with enough speed, knowing that the 7 ball would stop in that area, and it just came out beautiful. Well played.
Yeah,
well
absolutely.
Played. And we'd like to welcome Troy back in the booth.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to mute myself. I've been drinking hot tea.
Well, only 1 ball away from a 9-6 lead.
And closer to the finish line. If you can get this break to cooperate.
There you have it. Chang Yu Lung at 9. Ping Chung at 6. Notice on the scoreboard on your monitor there, it says race to 13 or 15. If you're just joining us on the live stream or just listening in, Ping Chung has to get, if he gets to 13, it's extended to 15. Because he's coming from the B side, and Mr. Chang, that's undefeated through the whole field, well, his bracket, if he gets a 13, it's over, and he will be crowned the champion here at the 4th annual Steinway Classic.
Which basically means Ping Chung is going to 15 no matter what.
Yeah.
You just can't win.
Yeah, there you go. You got to go to 15.
By reaching 13 first,
right.
No matter how it goes, you know. And if Chang Yu Lung reaches 13, the match is over. So it's easy to say one guy goes to 13, the other guy goes to 15.
Yeah. Ball went around the table, and I believe it found its way in the top corner, and he No.
No, he didn't make a ball.
Nothing went 3.
Yeah, why wouldn't they just say it that way, Ralph?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That makes it easier.
You know, German guys are pretty smart.
We're going to take a page
Good
out
thing
of
I'm
his
German.
book. Good thing I'm German. He's going to play a lefty safe here.
Maybe nobody ever thought about it that way.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I think there's a theory behind that, and you can ask Tony when he comes in. Maybe we're not rocket scientists yet.
Great safety here, by the way. Left-handed.
Absolutely.
And lefty, right.
Yeah. And snookered.
Yeah, that's an easy way to say
Chang
it.
Yu Lung here nicely behind the 2-ball. With the 1 and the cue ball being, you know, far away, so it's going to be
Yeah, there's a lot
not
of
so
problems.
easy to hit it.
I
Maybe he
think-
has to play like a zigzag.
I think I tied a 2 up behind the 4 ball here.
Yeah,
Because there's
not that easy either. But with ball in hand, it's kind of easy to break that cluster again. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, if he plays long rail, then
long
long
rail.
rail again, and then maybe gets to the short rail first
Right.
before hitting the 1 ball, then
Right.
you can actually, you know, have the cue ball stay there and,
Here it is. He's going to give it a roll.
bring the
The Z
two,
shot.
the 1 ball to the.
Something like that.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of hitting even the 3rd rail
Okay.
to make the cue ball stay
Stick.
there, but
Right.
obviously
He got away with it.
it's very hard to
Stick it.
yeah.
That's where you got to get the
predict.
rail, too,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
after the hit.
I mean, it's hard enough to actually hit the ball, you know.
Right,
not
right.
mention to
Yeah, where are you going
Play-
to hit it?
Yeah.
I'm going to hit this and back. Go Z and hit it in back of the ball.
exactly.
How about if I
if
just-
Efren was at the table, I would have said, yeah, well, he knows exactly where he's going to
Yeah.
hit, but he's the only one on planet Earth that.
He does stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And he's going to shoot again because he did call the 1 ball. This is
Yep.
call shot, call safe format.
Yeah, a little different format from the official WPA rules, which is good in a way, but it also takes a lot away from
The game,
the game because you eliminate the two-way shots.
2-way shot. Yeah, we agree.
And with this, you actually get a more defense game because certain shots that are a little too risky, but you know you're going to play a good safety, you're not going to call the ball. You just have to nominate a safety.
Right,
So
right.
It takes away a little bit from the offensive skill, to
Right.
be honest. But
It is what it is. You
it
play
is
by
what
the
it
rules.
is. Yeah.
He dropped his cue with a little
He
disappointment.
had a nice idea, but the outcome was bad.
Yeah. Now, do you? He's got a good safe here too, where he can drive the 1 into the 8 and bring the cue ball back
Behind the 5.
behind the 5. You just
I
got.
would rather stick cue ball behind the 8. The only problem is that you may make the 1. I
Right.
don't know if you can actually miss the pocket,
Right. If you try and play safe that
Yeah.
way. Right.
but you can also play it.
He's
hit
going to
it,
play it, I believe.
stunt follow. And yeah,
He missed it.
that was the problem because he didn't have. He had to create an angle here in order to get the cue ball out to the
move
middle
over.
of the
And,
table.
he was, and when you're that close to a ball, it's every deviation
Yeah.
just throws it off that much.
So maybe your idea of sending the 1 ball into the 8 and trying to get Whitey behind 5 would have been
The move.
maybe the move. Yeah.
Hey, did you hear that, Al?
I heard it, and I can't believe it.
My stock just went up.
Even a broken clock is right 2 times a day.
See what I got to put up with?
I'm enjoying it, absolutely.
All right. Now, he's got to get around here a little bit. He's got some traffic. But I believe he's going to come in between the
5 and the
the
7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Very nice. Came up a little long, but
Yeah, it should be still okay.
very makeable shot. Yeah, still okay.
Make it in the corner. Just little draw or actually stop shot. Obviously,
Just watch this
oh
side
no, it's
pocket.
actually
Going forward.
going forward. Wow.
Wow. Oh, did you see the cue ball? Because he hit it that hard.
It almost went into the side, yeah. I would have never played it that way.
That hard,
Oof.
right?
Well, if he goes 2 rails, then he has to play it that hard.
Right,
but
right.
I wouldn't have taken that risk of...
You would have cinched it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But that's my style of play.
That's your style of play, right. There's many right ways to do it.
That's correct, yeah. Every player has his own style, and he should,
According to
finish or try to finish a table according to his knowledge and his style of playing.
Right.
So, there are always different ways of getting
the job done.
Getting the job done, exactly.
Yeah, like they say,
some ways are a little tougher,
right.
some are easier, but as I said, what's easy for me, it's
may not work for me.
May not be easy for 10 other players,
right.
and vice versa.
Wow. I guess he sees half a pocket here. Like they say there's more than one way to skin a cat, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think the gap is big enough.
Right here?
Yeah, you just have to play a stop shot. Nothing to do.
Now, why'd you have to mention skin a cat? What does that mean?
It's just saying.
I know.
More.
That's Danny DiLiberto's pet peeve. Everybody says, well, there's 2 ways of skinning a cat. Why do they got to pick on animals?
Yeah, who the heck skins cats anyway? That's crazy.
I was just going to ask.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Which horror movie are we in here?
Yeah.
Keep him in his seat, Ralph. His head is getting too high.
Nice shot there. That was a really good shot getting off the point there. He's got a look about him. Feeling very comfortable now. He fires that home.
Man, did he fire it ever.
Close the gap to 2 games. Scoreline 9-7 for Chang Yu Lung. But again, Ping Chung still racing to 8. Chang Yu Lung only racing to 4.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, it's depending on who you are, you're racing at 13 or 15. It's an easy way to look at it. Takes a little bit of the confusion out. Let's see how we're getting a peek at him racking the balls there.
See, I would have actually done it slightly different. I would have given Chang Yu Lung a 2-game head start and then just go to 13 or 15, whatever.
Right. Okay, yeah. You get 2 games on the wire.
Then at least both players go to the same
number.
finish line.
Right.
That would have been easier.
Yeah, with the winner receiving for being undefeated receives 2 games on the wire, to 15.
Yeah. That would save a lot of arguments and ways of thinking.
Right. Here we go. It looks like
nice
two ball around the horn.
And no shot on the 1.
And no shot on the 1. Those 2 corner balls are coming up short to the side pocket.
I mean the 2 balls behind the 1 ball.
Yeah, and the table's starting to wear into a brand new cloth, Simona's cloth, and the table's starting to break in. So things are going to change, and like you guys mentioned earlier, with so many people accumulating in here, the conditions are changing.
Yeah, humidity is much higher.
Now he's going to push out here, you believe?
Yeah, he has to. I mean,
yeah.
I
don't like pushing out to a real thin cut because you're just leaving your opponent an opportunity to hook you really good.
Well, it's not an easy push out to begin with, no matter where you
push
out
pushes
to.
it, right? Yeah.
And you got to leave something open, otherwise
you're
gonna get it back.
Yeah. He pushed out to a real nice shot before. It was a super thin cut. He got it back, and nobody expected it, and I believe his last competitor didn't think of it either, and he wound up cutting it in. It was was a really nice shot.
Well, that's the only chance he has, basically. No.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave it too easy, but you don't want to leave it too hard.
He just waved his cue like he didn't want to do that. I guess he wanted to try and leave him on the rail.
Yeah. Most likely on the end rail,
Yeah.
but who knows?
He might let him shoot it, but I doubt it.
Maybe he was just acting like he
Yeah,
was
yeah, like
not
yeah,
happy and
man.
hoping to get it back. And
yeah. Oh, you don't like it? Here, you shoot it.
Yeah,
a little
exactly,
cat and
yeah.
mouse.
That's a pretty good move.
Yeah. How does he have that move in his bag of tricks at 19 years old?
Is he 19? I think he is.
yeah, he's 19.
Yeah.
Okay.
I told you they were reading. His book of moves. This is a thin cut. And
Oh, you overcut it.
Overcut it.
Wow.
no, he won't be shooting this again.
No, because they have jump sticks made today.
Yeah, and that is hanging. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Ping Chung is taking this on. I would be surprised if he gives it back.
He's going to come into the 7, I believe, a little hot. But the fortunate thing is that 3's sitting pretty in the middle of the table. He should get a pretty good shot at it. Oh, he followed it in.
That's a little bad luck, actually. No matter which side he hit it, would have hit it right or left, probably would have went in
Right.
without scratching.
Without.
But he actually hit it too straight.
Because what I've noticed somewhat now is with the jump shots, they perfected it so much. He had follow on
Yep.
on the ball.
Exactly, yeah.
Because years ago when it first started, it was a jump draw shot
Or jump stop.
or jump stop.
Yeah.
Now they are able to follow it,
Yeah.
which is baffling.
I think especially Taiwanese, they really work hard on their jump shots. I remember last week at the Open that another Taiwanese player, Shu, when he was warming up in the winner's bracket match against me, he made like 5 jump shots in a row while warming up.
While warming up.
And he made them all 5,
Yeah.
no matter how difficult they were. Like cross table, everything. Like,
And watching that, and then you're getting ready to play him. You better, if you're going to play safe, you better put him real close.
yeah. Better tie them up on the ball.
Yeah. Can't jump from being frozen in back of a ball. He's going to get to the center of the table here. Very nice. Play this in the corner or the side?
Probably in the, well, I'll take that back. I wanted to say in the corner, but
Yeah, I like in the corner too. Looks a little steep from here, but he's okay. He got really nice on that, didn't he?
yeah.
He slung that
If
cue
he's,
ball
if he's
around.
not that straight, if he has a little angle so he can get off the rail again. But the way he's aiming looks like a stop shot. So he was straight, yeah.
Straight. He's got a little practice spot shot.
Not a hanger, but at this point of the match, being in the lead should be,
Should be a hanger. Yep, very nice.
well, 10-7. Race to 3 for Chang Yu Lung. And still a race to 8 for Ping Chung.
See if he changes his breakup a little bit. Don't know what's going to work for him at this point.
Well, he's hitting the balls well, but not getting the results lately. That probably has to do that he's not wrecking the balls well enough. One explanation.
Right.
And well, other than that, I don't see
There's some.
anything bad about his
Yeah,
break,
there's some luck involved, right?
Oh yeah,
There is,
absolutely. I
yeah.
mean, I had trouble in my matches, to be honest.
With the break.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
When I lost to John Mora, I like 5 breaks in a row where I just
come
couldn't
up
make
dry.
a ball. Yeah.
Yeah, that hurts. And then
That's hard to
hard
win
to
a match.
fade.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Especially
absolutely.
when you break them well. Everything is opened up
Yeah.
wide, and you leave
And you
your competitor.
basically leave a roadmap. Yeah.
You just hope when he gets up to break, he does the same for you.
Yeah, but that wasn't the case.
Wasn't the case.
But that's the way it goes.
That's the way
that's
the
part
ball
of the game.
bounces. Absolutely. Here he goes. He's breaking from the middle this time. He put a lot on it. Watch this 3-ball come around.
Well,
And he does
Made
get that wing ball to come in.
made the 2-ball 4 rails, but again, the 10-ball kept moving right away, so there were definitely some gaps in the rack.
Yeah, in the back.
But I have to say it's quite difficult, even with the Delta 13 rack, to get all the balls,
Tight. Oh,
tight, yeah.
absolutely. Yes, yes.
especially different people playing on the table. Everybody racks slightly different, little higher, little lower.
Right, right,
So
right.
that creates big divots. And oh,
Wow.
that's an unforced error here.
You didn't expect that. Maybe shooting again.
Yeah, I would say so.
This is, and even a jump shot here is very dangerous because
Jump safe, though.
if
Not really, because the distance between cue ball and the 4 is larger than from the 4 to the 1.
Right.
So you have to jump along with the cue ball, which creates a higher jumping effect, because you're not going to hit the 1 ball face on. You're going to hit the table, the slate first, so the cue ball most likely will jump off the table.
jump off the table.
Yeah,
right,
taking a look at this angle, there is a
Yeah.
lot of space in there, but we did see Brian Deska make one like this.
It's
and
not
the
impossible,
cue ball
but
did. The cue ball and the object ball went off.
if he hits the 1 ball face on, then it's good, like that. I
Like
mean,
that.
that's
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, now he's safe behind the 10, though.
But if that cue ball jumps a little less or a little more,
It goes flying.
yeah, maybe 2 balls are
Right.
off
so,
table. Yeah.
so if it's that close, you're saying to jump to make sure you.
You basically need a little more distance between the ball that you're jumping over to the actual object ball that you are trying to hit.
Okay.
So the cue ball, doesn't
Has
jump
time.
that much, has a little room to settle in,
Right,
so to
okay.
speak, yeah. But you hit it perfect. You couldn't hit it
Yeah.
any better.
Yeah. Very nice shot.
Well, great jump shot, great kick shot.
Let's see.
Little unlucky here.
Maybe a great safe coming up. Or does he get aggressive and play the 6?
I
No.
wouldn't. No,
There's
it
no,
wouldn't make sense
no
because
reward.
you make that 4 ball so fast. You can't really play a good position on the 4
Right.
if you make the 6.
He's thinking of playing safe, I believe.
Probably try to draw the cue ball a little back towards the 10 and send the 4 ball 2 rails on the other side of the table. Yeah, nice shot.
Cole may be going to the air.
Maybe, but it's not easy.
No.
Even if he tries to bank the 4 into the 6, because the 9 and the 10, the 9 and the 8 are blocking the path.
Right.
So
Maybe he'll take a page out of that last kick from Chang Yu Lung and go 1 rail or 2 rails, rail first.
yeah, it's a much tougher shot too, because the 3 ball was close to the pocket before, and now
Yeah.
we have a
It's
diamond distance.
up and
And
from the pocket and off of the
from-
rail.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this one is much harder to hit, and you could scratch too.
Yeah,
If,
from
you,
in
if you
back.
get underneath, then
Right.
bye bye Whitey.
How about if he bends it around a 10 a little bit, tries to go rail first and kicks it that way? That's a tough shot,
It's
too.
tough, yeah, and you don't really get the speed.
He missed the whole ball.
Yeah. That was a tough shot, not to necessarily hit, but to hit it good.
Right, right.
'Cause it
Well, the 8 and 9.
sometimes not good enough if you just hit it.
Yeah, you want.
If you leave it wide open,
Right,
then
right. You might as
it's
well
not
give the
doing
ball
you
a
any
hand
good.
too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's looking at the carom for the 8 and the 9.
Yeah, hard to tell from here. I think it's possible. Oh yeah, it's definitely on. Just need the right angle coming from the 7. So actually, where the cue ball is right now, he probably wants to have it for the 7.
Right. Yeah. So we
2
have
shots from now.
2 shots from that. Can I just leave it here?
Or there.
Yeah. Now he's going to shoot the 6, go a few rails.
How about just going into the 8-9 right here? No,
No.
he's not going to flirt that
No,
way.
he's not gonna get-
Ralph, you're 100% right.
Did he get low enough? Or
I don't think he
up
got high enough. No, I don't think he got high enough.
But he must
Maybe
have,
he
but
can
because
stun it in and yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he's
Big
straight
pocket.
in, but yeah, because of the bigger pocket, you can cheat the pocket slightly and create the angle. Or just follow through a little bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's nice. Just hit the 8 ball thin.
no,
Make sure it goes far enough so you don't have to face the problem that playing the 8 and leaving or maybe in trouble with the cue ball on the side. But yeah, it was natural.
very nice shot.
He probably wanted a little more angle.
Then for the 8,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
absolutely, yeah, because he's just going to come straight back. Or, I believe he's just going to come straight back. Might be able to create a little angle.
Ooh.
Oh, doesn't look like he hit that well.
No,
He tried to really just bounce it. He fired it in there so fast, but not enough rail.
Well, he's got a straight pull break shot here.
not an ideal one.
Not an ideal one. And no pack to stop the cue ball from going in the corner there. Very nice shot.
Not yet.
watch
not until
Whitey.
it's over.
Nah, he's good.
Oh, he is? Okay, thank you.
Not going nowhere.
Good call. 11-7 right now. 2 games from taking the championship down.
He said
Chang
not even
Yu
close.
Lung. Ralph, Tony said he was coming back and he's going to sit in. But you know what?
Yeah.
I don't have. I know the cake is in front of you.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay.
He got most of it down.
You came, Ralph. You came this far. You
Yeah,
might as
no,
well hang in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I do that, guys.
Thank you.
Don't
Appreciate
worry.
it.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you in the booth with us.
No problem.
And
Nice.
for everybody out there viewing and watching, we want to say thank you again before we actually come to an end. And we do thank you for your support. And we'll see you on the next free live stream right here at Steinway. I'm coming back this weekend.
Nice break shot again.
Yeah.
Made the 2 ball over 4 rails.
Everything's on that side of the table there, huh?
Yep. But
Everything has a pocket pretty much,
looks
right?
pretty wide open. The only tough
5 to the
position
6.
is, I would say, the 4 to the 5 actually,
Okay, 4 to the 5.
because you ideally want to have the cue ball on the right side between the rail and the 9 to have an automatic angle to get it around. But here again, 4 to the 5 is the trick here.
Is the key.
Yeah.
Key shot. Yeah, comes sliding off at a 6, it looks like.
Yeah, that's the key. I don't know if you can actually avoid the 6, but I doubt it.
Go forward. Oh, come backwards. And he came up short.
That was the problem there.
Yeah.
This is a position that you cannot really. That's I don't know, maybe 4 out of 10.
Right, right.
Because you never know how thick
How
you're
it's
going to
going to
hit
come
that.
back. I was
that
thinking
6
too,
ball.
if he was able to get on the rail and play it avoid the 6 altogether and
Yeah,
not
but-
crash into it.
But then you would have to come on the other side to maybe play the combination 5 into 8,
Right,
which is
right.
not easy either.
No,
So
absolutely. He's kicking, and he called it.
well, it's not too bad,
Yeah,
to
no,
be
no.
honest. No, I would. I
believe
think
he's
that
gonna-
still that Ping Chung is going to take that on, but he probably is going to play it safe.
Yeah,
But yeah,
he is down
With his
7 to 11.
with his aggressive play, it's probably better to go for it, go the offensive, because the save is not that easy either. So.
Right. And the train, very nice shot.
Ralph, this
How'd
young
he
man
hit
is 19 years old.
Yeah,
He's
as I
got
said, he has no fear. He doesn't think of what could happen if I miss it. That's
But I'm not talking about the shots. His experience,
yeah. I mean,
like a 40-year-old here.
Yeah, we were saying that before. Some of his,
well, he's been on a tour now for like what 5 or 6 years already, playing on a high professional level.
wow.
At 13 years old.
Yeah. So I mean, and his brother been around already for at least 10 years, maybe more.
He's got some good seasoning.
And
Yep.
what is Copenhagen? 27?
I think he's 25, if I'm not mistaken.
So 15 years old. Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Were you playing like this, Ralph, at 15 years old and 18 or 15?
No, because I didn't have the experience to begin with.
Right.
I was still in Germany and not even traveling internationally.
Right.
So
Right,
I-
right. That's another thing, traveling internationally and coming here and, performing the way you guys do. That takes a lot of energy out of you. Your physical energy. The way you're looking at Copin doesn't seem like it.
Well, of course, he's still young. That's
Yeah.
you don't feel it at that age.
Right,
But
right. Yeah, fly around the world with his arms.
in 20, 25 years from now on, that will be different.
Yeah, see what he wants to do then, right? I'll wait right here and you catch up.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's different, but traveling a lot, traveling the world with different food, different climates, different time zones.
Different time zones, yeah.
It actually,
Catches up with you.
oh yeah, big time. It kills your body.
Yeah. And then you're introducing your body also to different germs or sicknesses. Or
Yeah,
flu,
everything. Yeah.
cold and this guy,
Yeah.
different strains of flu.
Sitting on a plane is not good for your back.
Right, right.
If you do it every week
Ugh.
for 20 years,
Yeah, not good.
and I'm talking not 2-hour flights, from like Chicago to New York.
Right,
I'm
yeah, no.
talking 9, 10, 12 hours
Yeah.
from Europe to Asia,
Right.
Asia to the States, and yeah, that's
Nice
not
break.
so easy.
Watch the cue ball. He got,
bad luck here.
yeah, he's all right. Not all right, but he didn't scratch. That was a real nice break in that unfortunate kick.
And that's the luck factor of the game
Yeah,
that you need. You need that extra roll in order to
continue
win a
on.
tournament or just finish second or maybe 25th.
Right,
That's how it is.
Yeah,
There's one,
right.
2 little rolls that could make such a big difference.
right, yeah. Yeah, because
Unbelievable.
a roll like this could cost you a match early on. And if you would have won that match, who knows where you would have
Yep.
went, right?
Exactly right.
Well, what's the game plan here, Ralph?
Well, the fact that the one ball is so close to the pocket, it's really kind of hard to play a good push out.
Kick at it, 3 rails,
I don't know.
back at a 10.
Even putting the cue ball to the end rail, where he's standing right now, leaves a possible bank shot 1 into the 7 because the 7 is so close to the pocket. So
No real good push here.
no. The only thing that I could think
about
of is
pushing
maybe pushing the 2 in front of the 9 and just leave a kick shot
Yeah, that's
on the 1.
And you're also tying up the 2 ball.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
trying
the-
to say. Yeah.
That's the plan.
Or maybe pushing the 8 to the 9. That could be But he's probably looking at the 2, yeah. Yeah, nicely done.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was.
And this way, if he kicks it and he hits it and he leaves an open shot,
It's still not easy to run out.
right? It's not because what's the chances of him having a shot with a good angle to get to the 2?
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
And
That would
if
be
it-
unfortunate.
And if he pushed the 8 to the 9, then it gives you 6, 7 other balls before you get to the 8 to open up the cluster.
Right.
Now you
right.
have to go to do it with only one ball.
One ball, right?
Hey, that's pretty good insight right
Yeah,
there.
you just filled me in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Why give your opponent more chances? Nice.
Yeah, because the 2 would have been down there, and he would have an opportunity early to break him up.
Yeah, well, basically with any balls. I mean,
Right.
even with the 7, we're just hanging.
He had an opportunity. Right.
But with this, you have to do it with the first ball.
Yeah.
Or play very good position on the 2 and then play a safety. And stuck the cue ball behind the 9.
You learn anything there, big fella?
Oh yeah. That's why these guys are champions.
That's right. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, Ralph, just heard that and picked up on it pretty good. You're going to add that to their arsenal.
Okay. Should I mention my PayPal account to get some donation or?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
The
yes.
GoFundMe site.
Just kidding, guys. Let's see what he's trying to do. Obviously kicking at it, but I don't know if he.
Just kick it easy.
Yeah, that would probably be not. Yeah, I don't know if that's the best because then again, it's kind of easy to play the safety,
Safety, yeah.
especially with the 3 and the 6 next to it. You know.
Now, how about coming in back of it and bringing it down towards the 1, and hopefully it slides in, nestles itself back to the 6-3, somewhere in there.
Well, if you hit it too hard, then the 1 ball will travel towards the 2-9.
Right.
And that could create a problem again.
Right. Gives him a chance, the opportunity to easily open it up.
Oh, you could even see
Oh,
that.
okay.
All right, I didn't think so. I thought you had to kick at it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, then this was definitely the right shot. I thought he had to kick actually.
A lot of amateur players here would consider saying, "Oh, that 7 ball is hanging up.
Nah.
I can float it up." Well, let me say the amateurs would
Yeah,
consider
yeah.
it because it's sitting there. It looks so inviting.
Well, it's
But
it's
there's
possible to make the
no
7,
reward.
but yeah, where does 1 ball go? Because you have to hit it so hard.
You going back at this and kick it? No. How
Well-
about he just played a 7?
Yeah, but that's what I meant.
Yeah.
You never know where the 1 ball is going to
One ball's
go.
going, yeah.
Of course, if he
could've
has
got
a
lucky,
shot, then
right. Yeah, it would have been a
he's
great
done
shot.
everything right. But I didn't fancy it.
Right.
If those balls weren't down here, then different story.
Right.
If you have like half a table wide open where you can roughly say,
You know
7
kind of
ball is
where it's
gonna
going to
go,
go,
yeah.
right. He
Well,
had no idea.
no,
But
of course, and with that many balls there, could always end behind somewhere.
I think he's going to play a little kick safe here. Try
Yeah.
and stop the cue.
Yeah, just stop it behind the 2. You hit it perfect. Got
Oh.
a little unlucky that the
10
1 ball
kicked it
traveled
in.
back to the left side of the table, but I think it's still okay.
Wonder
I'm not
if
sure
he
if you
got
can
a peek
actually
of
see
it.
the edge or not. Yeah.
Well, I guess not, because he's looking at the.
No, I think he actually can see it because he's actually looking.
Oh yeah, he called
You
something.
might see the whole ball. Wow. And that's. From here, I would have said
Yeah.
you can maybe see the left side of it.
Wow. See the whole ball.
Tough 1 ball, but automatic position for the 2. So
Yeah.
the only thing he
Just
has
make
to.
it.
Yeah, just make it.
Float it in. Just try not to worry about that 3 being there.
Exactly. And with pocket speed, and
it'll accept.
Gives yourself a way bigger chance of making the ball. Yeah, nicely executed. Should get automatic in between the 8 and the 6 ball.
Yeah, just
Should not use
it
too
down.
much left English. I would probably play it center ball,
center ball,
slightly above
half a tip above center.
above center, yeah.
Looking for a little angle.
Played it slightly too soft. It's still okay, but
Yeah.
he was hoping for a little more angle. But the 4 ball is sitting quite close to the pocket, so you don't really need to do much.
He needs to get off the rail a little bit,
Yeah.
so he has the bottom of the ball.
So you can draw it nicely over 2 rails.
He can also follow this if he fancies that.
No, because then you have the 8 and the 9 blocking the path.
Right.
Coming from this side, it's less chances of getting hooked. You hit it like 1 out of 10.
He got hooked. Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad luck. He actually did play the right shot.
Yeah. He's going to the air. This is a pretty simple jump shot too.
Well,
I mean, the ball's pretty close to the pocket.
Yeah,
I foresee him making this and just stopping it right there.
yeah.
Wow. Why does that cue ball continue to go forward? Just, I guess, the force in it.
Well, he just didn't hit it low enough, and I guess he was scared of just making it, maybe drawing it back, and then getting too close to the 8.
Oh, okay, right.
So ideally would have been a stop shot, obviously. But it's easier said than done on a jump shot. I mean, it's hard enough to
jump the ball
over and not hit it too hard so that one ball jumps off the table. And besides that, you want to hit the correct path in order to make it. It's not like a straight-in shot.
With that, Ping Chung puts up another beat on the board, and he definitely has a match here.
Yeah, it's a race to 6 for him. And it's still a race to 2 for Chang Yu Lung, yeah.
Well,
who would have put himself on the hill.
Well, Ping Chung has to get to 13 to make it an extension. So Ping Chung has to get to 13 before Chang Yu Lung. You understand?
Yeah,
we understand, El.
He's got it
Sorry,
down
I'm
where
not feeling so good.
It's just not so confusing.
Well, no. That's to force this into an extension. Oh, okay. I guess you're right. I'm sorry. I don't know what's in front of me, like a brick wall. I can't think. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But maybe you are right.
Yeah.
That
I'm close.
No. Maybe you are right. That if, let's say, if Ping Chung gets to 13, then Chang Yu Lung also has to play to 15.
Well, that's exactly right. You
Okay,
see, then it puts
so
the
that's
heat.
the difference. Yeah.
Right. It puts the heat on the other player. So that's why he's really forced to get there to make it an extended race.
Yeah.
Which in the whole scenario, you're 100% right. You're just making it simpler for the.
No, then it's actually a difference then.
Right. If
that's the case.
Even if Chen gets to 13, match over. If Ping Chung gets to 13 first, we're going to 15.
Yeah. Which is a difference in what I explained.
Right.
But I personally would have, as I said,
he made a ball on a break.
I would have given the guy, in this case Chang Yu Lung, who's coming from the winner's side, just 2 games on the wire, a head start, and then just go to 15 or to 13, whatever,
Right.
Just puts more pressure on Ping Chung as coming from the B side to get there.
No, I think it's the same actually, because if Chang Yu Lung starts with 2 games ahead, then it's the same pressure, in my opinion.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Who wants to give any one of these 2?
Oh, and he follows it in the hole. He might not have to get to to 13 first. Give him ball in hand.
Well,
With a
Chang Yu Lung gave away the last game, and looks like Ping Chung is just giving it straight back. But it wasn't that easy, you know. You had to
no. He navigate.
to
He's got to get past this.
elevate the cue and shooting over a ball, trying to hit it hard with inside English, getting around 2 rails.
Everything's set up here pretty nicely. You still have to navigate to get to the 6, which is not really too much of a problem.
Just from 6 to 7 might be a little tricky, because you need an ideal angle now. You don't want to be dead straight, which you almost ended up in.
Yeah.
But still, the 7 is still far away from the upper left corner. Yeah, he's all right.
Very good. Got on the short side.
Only 3 balls away from getting to the hill.
Potential hill.
Potential hill in that case, yeah.
We're just going to confuse the heck out of this thing.
No, you're confusing me, that's for sure.
Oh, wow.
No, he's all right.
He's okay, but
Yeah,
he got a little more than that. Than he
There you have it, folks.
spin grab.
Chang Yu Lung to the hill. Now the heat's really on his opponent, Ping Chung. You might see Ping get a little more deliberate and less pepper in his step. And think about the safeties instead of taking the risky shots. But then again, no matter who wins this right now, it's going to be a nice plane ride home for them.
Absolutely.
In
yeah.
any case.
Cracking champagne bottles on the way home.
And they have won like almost all the big events this year. World 9 ball, Ping Yi. World 10 ball, Ping Yi. The World Cup of Pool, the so-called World's Doubles event, won by Taiwan, Ping Yi and Chang Yu Lung.
Wow.
Right.
US Open, Kevin Cheng
yep.
last week. Now again 2 Taiwanese in the finals.
Wow.
So that's pretty strong.
Yeah, I would say so.
Taking a world by storm.
Did not make a ball off the break.
I think Barry Hearn has to start thinking about putting a Taiwan team together. What do you think?
Well, I mean, obviously when you refer to the Mosconi Cup, that will be always Europe against America.
Right.
Because that's, you know, the Ryder's Cup of Pool. But, well, he could do another event. Like there's a tournament coming up called the King's Cup, where
Okay, yeah.
Team
Right.
West
Right.
plays the East. And the East, considering of the 2 co-brothers plus Francisco Bustamante and Efren Reyes.
Wow, what a team there, huh?
Yeah, and playing the West with 3 Europeans, Mika Immonen, Darren Appleton, Albin Ushan, and Shane Van Boning.
Wow.
So this is going to be fun.
That sounds like a
That's
great
going to be in
match.
the Philippines, isn't it?
Yes, that's going to be in Manila
Right.
in mid-November. Don't have the exact dates now in mind, but it's after the All Japan Championships.
And November is typically a little chilly here in the States, and I believe Germany has around the same climate as us in November, possibly a little colder in a lot of spots,
well,
right?
Today was actually quite nice in Germany as well, same as here in New York
But
City.
I don't believe in the Philippines that November's really going to matter.
No, in the Philippines we are probably talking about 90 degrees and 100% humidity.
Humidity, yeah. Yeah, the conditions over there are a little different. He may be shooting again.
Don't think he called that, yeah. Well, if he sees the full ball, he definitely is going to take this. If not, he might give it back. But it's not so easy to play safety. Yeah.
Yep.
So he doesn't see the full ball. That would surprise me if he would see it and
Give it
give
up.
the shot back. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think they may be on the same team, but
Yeah.
they're not playing a team sport right now, are they?
Exactly. Yeah.
See Tony getting ready for some group pictures back there.
Yeah. Tony was supposed to be in here.
Yeah, he bailed that on us. It's all right. He's busy. He does a lot for this sport in our area.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh
Well,
boy.
I think he did the best out of this situation. He
Well, he's
couldn't
up-
do much more. I think he
he's eyeing
actually
up to
called
10.
it too.
We're gonna make a short game of this. If he makes it.
Wasn't that easy?
No, not at all. And he got a little fortunate on the
Not yet.
kick. Not yet, but it could be worse.
It all depends what Cole puts on him.
I think he didn't even look at the two if the two
Could
ball
make it.
actually passed the 10 ball
Right,
to cut
he
it
didn't.
in.
He went right for the cheese.
Yeah.
He wanted to end this thing right now.
Well, now that the 5 and the 6 ball are tied up over there,
Might also go
It's
put the
gonna-
cue by him.
it's going to be not so easy. And with the 9 close to the side pocket, right on the
Point there.
point there, makes it a lot tougher to get position for the 10.
You know what'll make this exciting? If Ping Chung could run 3 now and make it 12-12, it would be like a hill for him, but not really for Chang.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that would be good.
We'll hold Ralph in here for another few hours. Sorry, Ralph. I got Ralph up there. I said, Ralph, just for a couple of games. I practically begged him. He said, of course.
Yeah, can you come in for a game?
That's all right. I'll get you back next time.
That's all right. We'll go. You know where we're going
Make
to
sure
go.
we-
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Got the
The Hopkins show coming, and
Yeah, we'll be there.
you know where we're gonna have dinner.
Yes,
oh, when is that?
in March usually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have the dates now in mind. I don't even know if the dates are actually out already for it. They
I don't
probably
believe
are,
so.
but
You think so? Yeah. I haven't heard anything yet. Nice shot. He threw that ball in. He only
Yeah.
had a
you had to play
little
with
bit
a lot
of
of
the ball.
inside English. Yeah,
You know, I never been to Harold's, where they give you these huge sandwiches.
Yeah, Madison or
And Alan Hopkins told me about it. I mentioned to Ralph, hey, Ralph, what do you say we go to lunch? And I said, Ralph, you order. So he ordered the sandwich. I thought it was going to be like a solo thing. I don't, you know.
no, it's like for 15 people.
Yeah, we took sandwich meat and bread home back to the,
Well, you
the
guys,
expo.
you guys are the cheesecake guys, right? You've been loving the cheese. Did you see the size of their cakes or their pies and their cheesecakes?
yeah.
The cakes are like a foot high.
Yeah.
One piece is like a full cake.
I couldn't eat dessert after we ate.
No, definitely not. Well, back to the game here.
Yeah.
Nice try to bank the 3, one rail into the side. Hit both points. Unfortunately, left a shot on the 3 ball. Well, if he can get from the 3 to the 4, which he should.
2 rails, right?
Yeah, 2 rails, play the 4 on the side, or maybe even play 1 rail and then play it into the top left corner. But I think he's more concerned of the 9 ball, because he was looking at the 9 ball, how to solve that problem.
Yeah, it is going to be a problem.
And especially from where the the 8-ball is. It's not so easy to get to the other side of the 9 to play the 9 in the bottom right corner.
Right, he would have to be
You have to go like 2-3 rails to get to the other side.
right and draw it.
Or get straight on the
9.
to shoot it in the top right corner
That's really tough.
to avoid the scratch in the side. Yeah.
Right, yeah. And even if he did get straight, it's tricky with your eye to,
Oh yeah,
to
absolutely.
look at that.
It's so easy to hit the point
Yeah.
and either scratch or get almost no position for the 10 ball. So I wonder what he has in mind here. Well, maybe I
Right
don't
here?
know, maybe he tries to bump the 9 ball out now, but I don't know. He would have to go
2 rails.
2 rails, follow through. Lots of inside English. I don't know.
Yeah, he would have
Doesn't
to be
look on really.
over a couple more inches. And
Yeah,
he would have
he
it.
needed
but
less angle for that one.
he's still looking at it.
I think he was looking at maybe playing the 7 in the top right corner and trying to bump the 9 out with the cue ball. But how do you get position for the 8 ball?
You're going to leave yourself a little long.
That's like almost no chance.
Oh, I do like that shot too. If he comes almost over to the left a little bit and has angle on a 7 and
Hit
comes
the
off
rail first. Yeah.
and hit the
But again, the 7 ball is not really deep enough. You would have to have a perfect angle for that.
Yeah,
So
and
he
he's not
decided he decided against it, which is probably the right way to do. Well, I think if you get the cue ball somewhere to the foot spot, in that direction that he's looking at right now, then just play it 1 rail, get where he put the chalk right now.
right. Just go up and down a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, Ralph, we happen to have a friend of yours sneaking
Yeah.
right behind you.
I saw him.
Oh,
There's no sneaking.
Hi, Nick.
Nick Vandenberg.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for sitting in. Just to give the folks at home, there he is, folks, in the booth. Back to the match.
Well, welcome aboard, Nick.
Thank you.
I know why he's coming. He saw that tiramisu.
Yeah, he heard every time you come in a booth, you get a ticket for a tiramisu or a piece of cheesecake.
Once I mentioned your name, Ralph, he said, absolutely.
It's all about this position shot.
Very nice.
Very good position.
Yeah, Ralph noticed that earlier that this was going to be the crutch of this rack, and he was able to manage it really nicely.
And it's still not easy.
Oh no,
Because
absolutely
he has to
not.
play with either a lot of inside English or hit it hard and try to get to the other side, which is as tough.
Wow,
Yo.
that was very forgiving. Because that ball hit the rail,
He hit it bad.
he hit it bad.
And
Let's not
only
sugarcoat it.
and it only went in because of the big pockets.
Right.
Last week at the US Open, forget about it.
The diamond would never accept
No.
that.
Not even close.
They've been struggling with the break. From what I've seen.
A little,
Yeah.
a little bit early on, midway through the match, they each came up with a bunch of dry breaks, and
Go ahead.
they
Then Chang Yu Lung
figured it
figured
out.
out.
Yep.
Well,
Somewhat.
he made one of the corner balls 4 rails a bunch of times.
Yeah, I believe he was breaking a little bit better also. He broke him like 5 miles harder than Chung.
Yeah.
That's a good break.
We've got a match. 7 and 8 are tied up.
Well,
Still some work to do.
but considering that he parked Whitey, he made the 1 ball that is behind the 1 ball in the side. So it was a good rack. He hit it at a good speed. Just got a little fortunate that the two balls are tied up there.
From what I've seen here, he doesn't have to break up the 7. The 7 still goes in the corner pocket. And if he plays good position on the 6, then it's fairly easy to play position for the 7. Oh, he might have overrun that. Yeah.
Now he's got some work to do on that one.
He will hit this very hard with a little bit of left English and go one rail.
Or maybe hit it so hard, try to create a little more angle and get underneath the 4 to go 2 rails.
Withdraw.
Withdraw, yeah. That's a tricky one. That's what he was trying to do, but he didn't hit it hard enough.
No.
So the cue ball didn't bounce enough off the 2 ball. And the speed would have been bad too.
Yeah, he hit it.
He was missing some speed there, definitely. Yeah. Some power on that shot.
I've noticed that he's been under hitting the ball in this match quite a lot of times.
Yeah. Hit that not full enough. Leaves it open, not easy though.
Yeah. Both pockets are covered by a scratch. I believe he's going to play safe here. He's going to put the cue ball behind the 6.
Or well,
maybe
behind the 4.
Or maybe he can cut it in the right corner, and with a little bit of inside, you can make the angle a little less wide. Go underneath the 4.
I think he's cutting it to the top left corner actually. But I don't know if he can actually hold the cue ball enough. It's kind of hard to tell the angle from here. Different camera angle would be nice. Hit that perfect. Except that he hit the 6 ball, so now that gives him a lot more work to do if he makes the 4 to get from the 6 to the 7. Now it's not natural anymore.
Cue ball 2 rails here.
Yeah, back and forth. Roughly to the same position where it is right now.
He made it.
Too short.
Cue ball a little short. Now he can spin it in, or maybe he's going to try to break them open, because the speed with the spin is really tough.
Or maybe go 2 rails, hit the top short rail, the bottom short rail, and then get to the left side.
And maybe if you hit it a little too thick, the 6, you break them open maybe.
Open, yeah.
A lot of good things can happen here. Can hit the 10 and open up the 7. He hit this perfect.
Yeah.
He hit it perfect. Oh, you saw this rail bounce?
Yeah, that bounced a lot, yeah. We have a lot of people in here all day, so humidity is definitely part of this room right now, which makes playing a lot tougher.
Yeah, the same as this
harder
morning.
To predict, yeah.
I played Rodney Morris. We were practicing on table 24, I think, and the table played perfect until they switched on the air conditioning, and all of a sudden the table started bouncing like crazy. In 2 minutes, the table changed from a good table to a bouncy table.
To a pinball machine.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people don't understand. They don't realize that if you turn on the air condition too low, if the temperature gets too cold, then it brings in the humidity, and that the rubber rails, they're sucking it up, and then it's no longer fun to play.
Yeah.
He was trying the 7 off the 8, to carry him off the 8. Oof.
It's a crazy shot, that.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. But they're in the finals, so
yeah, what can we say? Eh?
Yeah,
We're up here.
they must have made a lot of good decisions before.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You guys didn't miss from here yet.
Yeah, that's always easy from here, that's for sure. Well, score is 12-10. Ping Chung could get in only a 1-game deficit, which still puts him not close to win, because he needs to go to 15 no matter what.
Yeah. If he wants to win, he has to get to 13 first, right? And then to 15.
Yeah, well, he's going to 15 no matter what. Yeah, he cannot win at 13. Chang Yu Lung could win at 13 if he reaches his first. It took us a while to figure it out here. Well, the crowd is waking up again. It's a little more noisy now, which is good to see and good to hear. For a little while it got a bit silent. But it's good to hear that people here are still enjoying that match. And of course they like to see close matches. They don't want to see a runaway.
It has been crowded all 3 days.
Yeah, pretty good crowd here.
I believe yesterday night it was even more crowded.
Yeah, it definitely was, yeah. Even though I didn't stay here all night, but yeah, when I left, I would say it was probably double the amount that it was from now. But I also think that a lot of players already went home. You know, not everybody can stay until the last game and watch everything.
Not everybody is as hardcore as we are, right, Ralph?
Well, I'm not saying that we have no choice, but obviously, we cannot just drive home. We have a plane to catch tomorrow, so. And at this time of the day, there's not really no more sightseeing going on in New York, so.
Yeah, they don't have a red light district here.
I'm not going to go
Don't say that
into
too
one.
loud, because the limousine might pull up in front of the door and everybody just walk right in.
He's making sure he gets the rack tight.
Yeah, which is important. Because if you have a rack with lots of gaps, then you break in like on a bunch of bricks.
Yeah. What you really want on this 10-ball break is that the 2 balls behind the 1 are touching the 10 ball.
Alrighty, getting closer. 12-11. Race to 1, or maybe
It's Hill.
Hill, maybe race to 4 for Ping Chung. According to the noise by the crowd, they actually want to see Ping Chung doing better. I don't know if they're pulling for him more or they just want to see an extended race to 15. Yeah.
They want to see drama.
Yeah. It's getting quite noisy here behind us. I don't know if there's a big gambling thing going on here or not.
There's always action at Steinway, and now that everybody's in town, it's like one big aquarium in the red light district.
Wow, look at this. He broke dry and the rack is wide open.
Welcome back, Troy.
Hey, what's up?
1 ball straight in. 2 balls sitting in front of the pocket. 3 ball almost in front of the pocket. Only the 3 to the 4. But if that's the problem, then I don't see any problem.
Yeah, I agree.
You said earlier, only problem he has here is whatever he makes, whatever problems he makes. The table is wide open.
Yeah, if he gets
He plays these 2 rails.
a good angle on the 4, which means he probably is looking at a stop shot for the 4. So wherever he would like to have the cue ball where the 4 ball is right now for the 5. I would say.
And play it down rail.
Yeah.
Just bump the rail a little bit and
Get a little angle on the 6, so cue ball gets
Off the
out.
rail.
Or maybe even a stop shot to play the 7 in the corner,
right.
the opposite corner. But you know, I think he'd rather have a shorter 7 ball or a shorter pocket for the 7 than play it cross on the other side of the table.
He's got a good opportunity right here to get the angle he needs.
He's got the opportunity to snap it off and win the whole tournament right from here.
I think he sees the finish line too.
Yep.
That's perfect.
Wow.
One's a little angle, which he got.
Yeah, how do you like that?
He can do a lot of things here. He can draw back for the side. He can stun follow for the 7 in the corner.
You can draw it back to play the 7 in the same corner pocket than the 6.
Sometimes it's not nice to have so many options.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to pick one now, that's for sure. He just decided
Look, this is
It was probably the best choice, because the less the cue ball travels, you know,
he left himself a little bit of an angle.
which is okay, you know.
And that's, like
Actually,
you
you don't want to be
too
that straight, yeah.
Right, right.
But you want an angle here.
He did want a little angle, especially not to stretch out for it.
I think we're going to see a power draw all the way up table.
Or maybe he plays this with topspin. No, he plays this with backspin. You think he's going to draw it back to the rail?
Yep.
Yeah, he likes moving a cue ball. How'd he hit it?
Hit that good.
Hit that nice.
One more good 9 ball. And then
And he
he should
took
be looking at a fairly straight in 10 ball to win the championship.
New champion. He took a little pause on that 9, which was smart.
Yeah, nicely done. It's all over, guys.
It's all over.
I would have to agree with you, Ralph.
There you go.
There you have it, folks. There is your champion.
Well, nicely played. Both guys. See Tony Robus congratulating the finalists.
Well, you know what? We would like to thank Ralph and Nick Vandenberg for sitting in here, folks. The Euro invasion has invaded Chesapeake, Virginia, and now has invaded Steinway here in Astoria, Queens, New York. I can't thank you guys enough. Nick, thanks for sitting in.
No problem.
Ralph, you know it's always a pleasure seeing you. And make sure you have your tiramisu.
I will,
All
definitely. Thanks, Al. Thanks, Troy.
Thank you, gentlemen. It was a pleasure.
And thank you, folks
Al.
out there,
Yeah,
for
very good.
tuning in.
Thank you,
Yes,
Al.
thank you, everybody.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Good luck.
Everywhere. Germany, Japan, China.
We'll see you next time.
They're right there. Oh, you already called them over. Okay. Folks, we're going to have the interpreter, and we're going to have Ping Chung, and we're going to have Chang Yu Lung come into the booth and do an interview before we get out of Dodge. So we're just going to set the cameras up a little bit and stand by. We're going to have both of them come in with their interpreter and possibly Tony Robles. Let's just figure out what we're doing here. There's the interpreter right there, gray jacket. And just let me set it up. Well, I sound a little low on my end. I guess somebody had that. So why am I sounding low? Am I sounding low to you?
No, you sound perfect.
Sound pretty good? Okay, so it's just my own headset, so I got to turn myself up. There we go. Well, everybody, let me tell you something. Here's the first place champion, the champion of the 4th annual Steinway Classic. And sitting next to him is Mandy Wu, one of the major people on the job here, keeping the charts all written nice, and Mr. Tony Robles, the tournament director himself. Tony, go right ahead, create this interview, and Mandy's going to do the translation for us. She's going to do everything that she can. Go ahead.
Thank you, I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
Well, I mean, Mandy, can you ask him, is this his first time ever in New York?
是你第一次在美国吗？
是
Yes.
So how does he like it over here?
你觉得怎么样？纽约？
OK 啊，你说比赛气氛嘛
No， 不是，就是这边。
？OK 啊，就蛮
好。
蛮好的。
He said that he likes New York a lot, and that especially Steinway because Manny, the owner, takes care of everybody, and they took care of them especially, made them feel welcome at home. And from the very beginning, Manny's been great, and they appreciate him very much.
Well, I kind of got that feeling. The reason why I'm asking the question is because he did pretty well considering this is his first time in New York. How does it feel? What does it mean to him to have been able to come here for the first time and win the first try, especially beating the competition that he beat here, which it was a stellar field?
他说：“你觉得怎么样？在这边第一次，在这个台球这边第一次，没练球就是打 and then 打败这么多人跟你的朋友。
当然这比赛也是一部分也是运气了，然后自己的心态压力还算压制得住，所以在打的时候还蛮顺手的。
He said he had a lot of pressure playing against, especially Ping Chung, because they travel together all the time, and that he had to keep his pressure down and play his game and just concentrate on playing his game, because if he didn't, he wouldn't have been able to beat him.
Right. Hey, I have a question for you. I'd like to know, first of all, I know you had a great tournament, but I would like to know, can we expect to see you at the 5th annual Steinway Classic? Because it was such a great, what we call the Asian invasion, to see the whole team here. I felt ecstatic, and I'd like to see them again at the next one. Is it going to be possible if we can schedule it at the same time or more or less right after the U.S. Open? Will they be interested in coming back?
他说你会不会下年去年去这边再玩过，跟和 US Open
明年啊
那些，明年。
OK 啊 OK。
He said yes.
Oh, that's great.
And then the other thing I also have to say is I think there will be more coming in next year.
Well, that's even better.
Yeah,
And then you might also see some new faces as well.
Well, you know what that's going to do? That's going to season everybody around the vicinity, because these guys are really shooting like steel.
Yeah.
I mean, you knocked off the world team, if I'm not mistaken. You knocked off major events over in, I believe, Japan or China. Then you went to the U.S. Open, you guys snapped that off. Now you come to Steinway, you snap that off. Do you need a bodyguard going back to Taiwan? Because I want to learn something. I'm only kidding. Congratulations. Mr. Tony Robles, Mandy Wu, and of course our champion from the Steinway, 4th annual Steinway Classic. Tony, you have any other questions? Feel
I
free.
just want to say that it's been quite an honor to have all the Taiwanese players here, as well as all the international players. And it's I feel blessed to be friends with so many pros, but to be able to make new friends with them makes it even that much more special. So tell them that I thank him for that, and that I'm looking forward to getting to know them better as they continue to come here throughout the years.
他就说很感谢你过来这边，你们全部过来这边，因为他说他这一次是第一次认识你们台湾的人，and then 他说他想再跟你们沟通啊这些，所以很谢谢你。
One more thing, Mandy. Tell them to say hi to everybody. I don't know what time it is in Taiwan, but I know there's a bunch of people watching. Tell them to say hi and look right in the camera.
他说你跟你的台湾朋友讲中文，跟他们说一些东西。
各位观众大家好，很高兴这次来美国，最少有个收获。然后谢谢你们在那个网络上面在关注的比赛，谢谢你们，辛苦了。
All right,
good.
All right, good.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Congratulations.
Now, can we have Copin?
Now, do you want to bring the other one? Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is the runner-up, Mr. Cole Ping Chung. Tony Robles, and of course, Mandy Wu, our interpreter, also works on the Predator Pro-Am Tour. Go ahead, guys. Take it away, Tony.
Okay, well, the first thing I want to ask him is, I know he's excited about being in New York, too. This is also his first time. Is that correct?
这个是你第一次吗？他说
这是
来 New York.
对，第一次来纽约。
He said it's his first time in New York as well.
Okay.
And as well as all the other Taiwanese players, except for Kevin Chang.
Okay. All right. Well, Kevin actually speaks pretty good English, too.
Yeah, he does.
Impressed. How does he feel about doing so well the first time around here, and how does he feel about the people that he's met here?
他说你觉得第一次来纽约，第一次来这个地方，你觉得为什么打得这么好？
我觉得这一次来，我就是当做来学习的，然后就是能打怎样，就是尽量打好的这样子啊。
He said he actually never expected to do so well, and he was just going to use it as a practice. It's the first time in New York, and that he's actually really surprised he played so well. But he played so well because his breaks were working, and like he was able to make shots, and just all the stuff that it needs to play well. He did. He did everything.
So tell him that I said if that's how he plays when he's not expecting to play well, I would really love to see when he is playing well. Tell him I said that.
他说：“那你想？他说，你觉得这一次就是念，就是差不多是念嘛？他说，如果你下一次来了，你再打得比较好。” 下一次，
对，下一次希望可以打更好啊，因为这次冠亚军这打太烂了，对。
He said that he came this time and he said he thinks he played pretty good, but he's like next time he thinks that he's going to play better, and that this time taking second is not good enough for him, and that he wants to play even better because he thinks he played horribly.
Wow. I didn't think that. I thought he played great.
Let me put you on the spot a little bit. First of all, congratulations. I want to let him know that. And let me put you on the spot. You've probably been asked more than once. Who's better, you or your brother?
他说：“你可能很多人都跟你说这样，但是你觉得你的歌比你打得好，还是你比的歌打得好？”
And keep in mind, this is recorded. Your brother might see it. Tell him.
我一直都觉得我哥哥比较厉害啊。
He's always thought from day one his brothers always play better.
Very good. Congratulations. I respect that answer. Very nice.
And tell him that it's also a pleasure and an honor to meet him, and I'm hoping that we all get the opportunity to know them better as the years go by and they continue to come here to the United States and bless us with their presence and the amazing performance that he put this event. It was inspiring to a lot of people, including myself.
他说：“希望你们全部年年都来这边打这个 tournament， 还有别的。And then 他很高兴看到你玩，全部人都很高兴看到你玩。希望你们全部都来，所以他们 continue 知道你们打。
对，我们有机会的话都一定会来啊，对。”
He said, as long as there's an opportunity, they will always come.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And does he like Donnie Yen?
I actually don't know how to say.
Okay, that's okay.
He probably understood it anyway. He's that good.
Okay, well, sounds good. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you next time.
你要跟你台湾人说什么话吗？
And we're going to take a couple of photos of you.
我也很谢谢他们，就是已经没有比赛了，还在旁边帮我们加油啊。然后还有那个强哥跟强嫂，就是我们比赛从早到晚都一直陪我们，然后还就是帮我们准备吃的啊什么的这样子，对啊。然后还有 Mandy 也是谢谢你都有照顾我们。
He did mention something about you. Go ahead. We want to hear it.
He wants to thank all of Taiwan and his fans and his viewers for watching, and that he wants to thank especially his manager, John, his wife, for being here day and night and like on the restless nights and just being here, getting them food. He wants to thank the owners, Manny and Anna, and the rest of the staff for everything.
All right, tell him to say hi to the folks at home that are watching. He did? Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, folks, I'll tell you what. That is the end of the show. There is several matches going on. Maybe 3, 4 tables, maybe 6. The owners here elected to tell me to turn it down, so I'm going to have to close it off. I'm Upstate Olive AZB TV right here in your cam, and we want to thank you for supporting us. We're trying to critique ourselves and trying to do better. I was just reassured by, I can't mention their names. They asked me not to mention their names, that the new equipment is coming in. I don't know how much newer I can get more than this, but we're going to have some fun with some new stuff. Until next time, Jimmy, this is Jimmy, by the way, Julie Ha's husband. I can't thank Troy enough and everybody that sat in. Go ahead, Troy, get on the air. Are you there?
Yeah.
Have a seat, pal.
All right. This is a wrap, I guess, huh?
This is another wrap.
Good job, pal.
You too. Thank you always for sitting in.
That was exciting. And thank you very much, everyone, for bearing with us at times.
Yeah.
We hope we brought you a great event and you enjoyed it. Everything went pretty
and
seamless.
we got some good news. I'll mention good news to you off the air.
Beautiful.
But guys, some surprises coming.
Hoorah.
Until next time.
Good night. God bless. Thank you very much again, Shaw.
First, yeah, right here. Hold it like this. Okay? There you go. All right? Guys, come in. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. All right, over here, guys. Ready? 1, 2. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And now, I'm going to go to the back to give it to them. You want me to do it here? Huh?
If you're wondering who that gentleman is standing next to Mandy Wu, that is Marcus Snow out of Canada. Does a lot of promotions. In fact, he brought me down quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah.
That's from Q Sport Nation up in Canada. There you see the whole Well, that's not the whole Taiwanese contingent. Yeah, I believe that's every single one of them, all 6. Yep. The Taiwanese Typhoons. See Manny, one of the owners, all the way down there by the set of balls sitting on the table. That's Manny. If I go this way, we might be able to catch him. Well, I would catch the back of him. There you go. Marcus Snow wants to get in the picture from Canada, and I don't blame him. You really don't get to meet and greet these folks all the way from Taiwan, and I'll tell you what a team they are. They're a force to be reckoned with, and at the early age of 13, Ping Chung started playing pool, and at the early age of 15, Ping Yi started playing pool. Now they're just top of the world. They took the East Coast by storm, I can tell you that much. All right, folks, we're going to have to end it. God bless, and if anybody has to travel safe. And we'll see you right back here next weekend for the NYC 8-Ball Championships from Steinway Billiards. From me to you, have a great one.